welcome back. How are we feeling? How are we living? How are we breathing? My name is Big Rich X. The X marks the spot because my commentary is the treasure, but you don't need a map to find it because you're already here. I may be Big Rich, but I'm joined by the Ben B. You and me gonna be here all freaking day. Gonna be a fun one, Ben. How are you feeling, sir?
I am feeling extremely good. I've had a wonderful day. As you can probably tell from the accent, for those of you who weren't here last year, I am streaming from the UK, so you might be having a good day. I'm already well into the night right now, but wonderful day, and I cannot wait to cast over some, what will quite frankly be some incredible Apex, if last time was anything to say. But yeah, I'm excited. Rich, it's lovely to be back. I mean, the main thing to talk about, as you are demonstrating right now, is you've got a little bit of merch on right there.
I certainly do. Thanks to my peeps at Unreal Nightmare. If you were here last time, you probably realized I was hyping up the boys over at Unreal Nightmare a little bit. And when you glaze a team like you work at Krispy Kreme, like I just did, you get yourself some free merch. And hey, I'll take a custom jersey any day of the week. If I can get some to rep the brand, rep the name whenever I'm at gaming conventions or LANs, or for this instance, casting some top tier Apex Legends content and competitors, then I'm gonna say yes, please. Just don't forget the X, folks. Don't forget the X when you're putting it on the jersey.
Absolutely. I mean, it's got the jersey on there with the name looking good. Unfortunately, I don't have any jerseys yet, so I'm just wearing one of my favorite shirts at the moment. But
all
I had
good?
to go with
All good.
Yeah. Mine's just a sport team one. Don't have any of the cool esports stuff. But I mean, if anybody soon. One day, I mean, it's going to hopefully happen soon, and hopefully sooner rather than we think, because CCE have got a lot of great jerseys on their website. If you like any of the teams that you're seeing here this evening, of which there are quite a few, and I'm going to go through them in a little bit, but head over to the CCE store. You're going to be able to grab yourself a jersey. We had a few sales during the last stream. I believe that Rose did some great ones. Thank you so much to anyone who purchased. But I think it's exclamation point jersey or jerseys in the chat.
Yes, exclamation point jersey in the chat. Do it now if you want to take a look at some of the sweet drip we got going on in the store, because I may be a little hot today. It's getting up into the 90s, but I feel cool as a cucumber when I'm in my Unreal Nightmare jersey. I mean, it's so comfy. It's breathable fabric. Shout out to the peeps over at Swordog for getting this built and made out. I mean, just some top tier stuff. Even if you're not a fan of any of the teams, if you need an extra quality shirt, you need to take something running, you need to go to work, you need to go to a family event, rep your jersey, folks. Rep your jersey.
I mean, it's you can't say it any better. I think whilst we're talking the jerseys of the teams, I think it's only right that we delve into. There's been a couple changes since the last tournament. Obviously, the last one was just a couple tweaks, just small ones, but exciting ones to say the least. We obviously had an incredible tournament last time out. Fusion coming away as our winners, the Matchpoint Finals. We did also have Orchid as the co-champions of the event as well. So teams are back and they're ready to fight. Of the teams which we have got, Oni Esports are out of the tournament, but that is only the org that was representing them in Has Come Oath Esports, and that is going to be MJ, Kyra, and AO. They are now going to be represented by Oath Esports. We are the Oath.
Lovely.
Absolutely incredible stuff. Other changes is that Pixel Lumina's team, which was obviously the Ape Gang, they got picked up by Forbidden Gaming, which is a great pickup. Has meant that, however, they have left the tournament. So we obviously needed to give them a Pixel Lumina, a new team. They're one of these orgs that are part of this with, again, some great merch, I do have to say. And we have passed over the mantle of the Twerkaholics and now going to be playing under Pixel Lumina, no longer CCE. So be on the lookout. If you're a twerking fan, the Twerkaholics under the Pixel Lumina banner for the rest of this tournament, I believe. We have then also got one spot remaining, and I'm very excited. Furia are here tonight. Woo! That is going to be Keon, Nox, and JMO. Their coach is going to be filling in for Madness. I mean, JMO, he may be a coach, but he is an unbelievable player. And I cannot wait to see the boys from Furia potentially clutch up a match point. They're going to be excited because, I don't know about you, Rich, watching along the LGS regional finals taking place tomorrow. What a better way to practice than right here tonight in a match point event.
Exactly. I mean, you get yourself a little bit extra spending money should you come out on top. You get to get some practice against some of the top teams in the Apex scene, and you get to get some top tier casting from Ben B and yours truly. What more could you ask for, teams? Now, of course, we've been talking about a few of them, but I gotta shout out my peeps at Unreal Nightmare. Need them to take it home this time. They were at the tippy top for a majority of that matchup, but unfortunately just towards the end, did not see him catch a win. We saw them in a couple of top 5s, top 3s, and even a top 2s, but unfortunately no W for them here today. At least not on the previous day. I mean, I'm hopeful they get a win here today. I'm getting all flustered just thinking about it. So, hopefully, Unreal Nightmare can wake me from this nightmare and give me that URNMW here today.
Most definitely. I mean, I'm excited myself personally. I think you got a new org coming in. Big shout out to Oath. Who have obviously entered, taken Oni's spot. So got to give a big shout out for them as well. Furia, as we mentioned, obviously pretty exciting for them to come on board. Really big organization. Great to have them. I believe it's only just for the 1 week, but 1 week of Furia is more than enough because they are exciting and it's going to be fun to watch. We do, however, going into this first game, so we've just got a couple teams that are either playing as just a solo or have missed out on this game, number 1. I think that's due to them just not being able to make it for the start. So we are only going to be kicking off with 19 teams for this first game, but those 19 teams are going to be very good and very exciting, and it's going to be Storm Point. I personally love a Storm Point map. It's my favorite on the scene. Even though E-District, I think, is the most fun to cast over because of the layers and everything, Storm Point is just, I love it. It's beautiful.
Storm Point is a ton of fun. There are some critical moments and whatnot that you have to be careful of as we get ready to get into this matchup. What's really important and what I noticed is, at least from the last time, as someone's sort of coming from the outside in to the Apex scene, is it's not necessarily running and gunning and trying to find teams and hunt them down like you do in your maybe your standard pubs match, or if you're watching an It's Timmy video, but it's rather patience and playing the long game. How good of positioning can you get for those final circles? Because we'll still have like 15, 13 teams left in the circle when it's getting to the final zone, and it's just pure pandemonium. If you don't have the high ground, then you're trying to rat it out, or you just the solo player looking for a quick kill to get those few extra points, because at the end of the day, you got to get those placement points before you start looking for kills, I think. And that's obviously what teams are prioritizing, and just not necessarily wanting to get into those earlier gunfights that seem so common from a pubs player perspective.
I mean, the thing for me is that this event, obviously, with a little bit of cash on the line, in a match point situation, teams are going to want to play for those points and play for getting that placement, especially as you start approaching that 50-point threshold. And last time we were lucky enough, we had a lot of teams on match point by the time it finished. I think if it had gone one more game, I think we would have had about 11 or 12, which would have just been insanity. But
I think if it went one more game, we would have passed out at that point. I remember you guys were casting into the wee early morning hours across the pond.
Oh, I think it was 4 a.m. by the time I got to sleep. I was like 4:30. Oh my god, I was in a different realm. I mean, to be fair, I would not be opposed for it doing exactly the same this time out. And I think that it's gonna be good if we could I think going long. Everybody loves a map one that goes long.
Yeah, I'm not too gonna be too upset should we see some more top tier Apex Legends action going a little bit into the early morning and late night hours. If it just means we get that dramatic 1v1 final finish, one team to take it all, and in the darkness bind them. But at the end of the day, I'm just excited to be casting Apex Legends again with you, Ben. How have you been, by the way? How are things? I am happy to see Bloodhound still being repped. I know they took a little bit of damage, fall damage last time,
They
even
did.
though that's not necessarily in the game, but I believe their little head epaulets or what have you
Did, yeah,
were
just
damaged.
Bloodhound up the top there. I'm doing good. I was in the very British fashion. I was playing cricket today. I had a great day out playing cricket in the sun. It's rather hot. When you said, by the way, it's getting into the 90s. We obviously do temperature in Celsius over here. So I was like, mate, are you okay?
I don't know what a kilometer is. I don't know what a Celsius means. Is that a drink? I'm pretty sure Celsius is an energy drink.
It's not a James drink, but I do have one of those. You'll be glad to hear to rock me through tonight. But yeah, no, it was a good day today. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. Had a bit of cricket match and then into a barbecue as well. So can't be too mad.
No, definitely not. Luckily, we've gotten everything set and situated away. We got some new teams, some new faces showing up, and of course, a couple of classic ones. Nightblood as well. I was hyping them up a bit, so I'm hoping to see them perform a bit better this time. I know they had a bit of a late day resurgence, but a bit of a rough start. So if they can get going a bit earlier, we should be okay. MCoy also coming back. I believe we have Empire. But luckily, I don't think there's two Empires this time, as we won't get confused with Empire and Empire.
Oh, I completely agree. Well, as we are going to be kicking off this round number 1, I think it's only right that we just shout out some of the sponsors we've got today. We've already obviously mentioned some incredible merch, but we have got other sponsors, and that does include, as you can see down the bottom of the screen right now, GameNetics, OBS Bot, DX Racer. We're going to speak about these guys throughout the course of the event, but I reckon we send it over to a fun little commercial break, be able to see some of their stuff in a cool little video format. Let's go. Oh, looks like it's not happening. Are we going?
Eventually.
We're going. Production will get there. If we cut out in a
Don't
second,
worry.
that's absolutely fine.
But either way, I have to hype up our sponsors, especially at DX Racer. I mean, quite literally, one makes me jump out of my seat with how just beautiful and comfortable this chair is, folks. This is the DX Martian Racer, Martian XL from DX Racer. It has an airbag lumbar support system, an electric recliner. It does so many amazing things and you can't even see it. It is the most comfortable, high-quality chair I have ever owned and probably will ever own. If you are looking or in need or simply just want a new gaming chair, DX Racer is the way to go, and I strongly recommend their Martian XL. I have so much room. I'm not feeling tied in by the wonderfully easy to use armrest that you unfortunately can't see due to camera angles, but the magnetic headrest, the everything is so nice, is so comfy, and I will never let this chair go so long as I play video games, which will be for the rest of my life.
I mean,
what
a chair! I'm very jealous. Oh, that's absolutely fine. I mean, I'm very jealous of your chair, if I'm being honest. But I think
so nice.
For the controller players out there, I did receive a nice little package, which was personalized
GameNetics
to Ben.
Custom? Oh, that's
custom.
So sweet.
Always custom
little packaging. Going the
custom
extra
packaging.
step.
Oh, beautiful. I'm gonna
That
unbox
is
this
what
a
I
little bit
appreciate.
later. I think I'm gonna unbox this on stream. But it does look like we are hopefully, all being well, fingers crossed, we are hopefully going to be getting into game in just a second. I will unbox that. I'm gonna tease that right now because your commercial there for the X Racer. I mean, you can send it to a fancy graphic, but I think that was more than enough already.
As a gamer, as a streamer myself, as a caster, my wholehearted and honest. To pull the wool over your eyes, pull a fast one or nothing, chat. If you need a quality chair, if you want a top tier gaming chair, DX Racer is your answer. Thank you, and your friends will thank you because you probably play a little bit better because you're not.
As you can see, starting off here with Forge Wolves Gaming, they are going to be over up towards Wolves, who were a little bit of a surprise act in our first one. They went just kind of crazy as our lowest ranked team in the whole tournament, coming out of the Challenger circuit, and just a phenomenal performance was so good to see.
A really great job, beautiful throws, beautiful tosses, and now getting into a little bit of a mix-up with the spiders. But don't call Harry Potter just yet, January. Just grabbing some loot and grabbing some extra Evo with that spider damage.
Sorting out some audio issues here, Rich, just on my end. So if you take this for now, I'll be back in a second.
I got you, brother. Not an issue. Either way, as we get everything set and situated on our end, folks, not to worry.
I don't know how much you enjoy playing Sparrow. Whether I know that obviously you're a Bloodhound diehard, but as another Recon character, have you had a chance to play out Sparrow? Watch some of his gameplay?
I've seen a bit of Sparrow's gameplay and how effective they are at sort of aggressive pushes and just spotting out opposing teams. So a bit more of on the pusher and aggressor side. So I'm curious to see if we'll see some more of those early gunfights we were talking about beforehand. But not had too much to play them myself because, again, I'm a one-trick Bloodhound. Will sometimes run a caustic, but will try to open up myself to new experiences as, again, Digi here. Dig looking for something, but unfortunately, nothing popping up for him.
I mean, what was interesting last time is we basically had one team who stuck with the Sparrow all the way through, and that was, of course, Team Orchid. Hambino, who was on that Sparrow the whole way through the tournament, playing so incredibly well, and at the time, it was an underdog pick. It was one that they were just making work. But right now, we are seeing so many more teams who have picked up Sparrow. I believe we already have got at least 5 or 6 who have picked them up. So it's going to be really interesting to see how early it is before they get banned. Because obviously, this evening we do have legend bans in play.
Yeah, naturally, you're going to see, I think, a couple of early bans. I know we saw Ash and eventually Fuse starting to get banned, but those will be sort of later game picks as you see some of the earlier ones get taken out. And again, not really hitting anything with the bow check, nothing coming to fruition. Empire here just getting posted up in this closed circuit on this final zone as everybody's scanning, knowing where final zone's going to be. There's a lot of cover here in this final zone, so it should prove to be interesting once everyone sort of gets collected in this very, very tight space.
I mean, obviously, this is Berserkers right here, the team that took out Furia and have got that lovely spot inside of the zone. The issue for all of these teams is where it's going to be going next.
Yes.
If we can get production to pull up a map in a second, I think that all of you are going to be surprised when you see what is going to be coming next. Because, my lord, it's an insane pull. As Nightblood Gaming currently right now looking at a team nearby, trying to just throw out some of the alter queues to maybe capture somebody and pull them out. And now not getting any luck.
Beautiful shots from Aspire here. Karev, unfortunately, only getting about 69. Popping, cracking, getting some nice shots with that 30-30. If you can just start landing those hits, the 30-30 is a popular pick for good reason. Deadly, accurate, and quick to reload. And now just teams poking, prodding, trying to waste your heals early. If I'm these teams, if I'm not actively fighting somebody, I'm just going to try to stack up as many heals as I can to prep for late game.
As we are now seeing Fusion in a very isolated fight up against Pixel Lumina. Cascade Falls right now, whoever gets this win is actually going to have not a terrible rotate to the next zone. So this is important, and it's 2 teams that we've seen a lot of success with in recent tournaments, whether that be Fusion winning in week number 1 of this CCE event, or whether it is the Twerkaholics, now Pixel Lumina, obviously in the ALGS Open. So 2 exciting teams to watch as we are seeing in the feed. Floating has taken down Kimchi, and movie star Koi are now getting in a big fight as well, up against Empire.
Gonna be a bit testy. Nice knock, but with just 10 HP remaining, Fun FPS, gotta be careful. Coming in to protect. Blinkers, trying to find something. Phasing through. Fun, able to get the shield back up, but again, a bit mixy, bit testy. Beautiful shot. As finally just one player remaining. That's Wi-Fi. Can they keep the connection strong as they go up against MCoy?
The heals coming out here are fun. Not wanting to take any risks right now. The full heal goes out, and they've ulti-queued through the wall, trying to hunt down their last player. As they're getting a knock on the down at least. Sacred is taken out for Empire. But for now, I'm not sure exactly what's quite happening. There it is.
There we go.
There we go.
All good.
And MCoy are going to be getting the res right now. A nice little third-person POV. We don't mind that in the slightest.
Yeah, not at all. You do have Jelly respawning up top, so you do get your full squad back. Still 16 teams remaining, though. Nasty and the Rose squad just trying to post up. MCoy still hanging out up top. People posting up on their high grounds and just trying to remain calm, cool, and collected as everybody gets set up into this zone. It should prove to be interesting as we see Pixel Lumina coming in a little too fast, a little too furious as they bash on the rock, trying to get into zone. They're going to be in a bit of a tough spot once they actually get through as they start coming in on Stormcatcher. Got to be careful here.
Pixel Lumina. Looks like they were I think it was, did they take out, I don't know if I actually saw Fusion get completely taken out. It doesn't look like they did. So for now, Fusion are still alive. They had to go all the way to Ceto Station after they did get, Kimchi was knocked. And they are making their way back in a Trident right now. But yeah, if production are able to pull up a map overlay right now, what we're currently witnessing is utterly insane. Everybody, pretty much in the map, has located themselves down at Launchpad, but it is pulling up to just south of Stormcatcher on the hill. This is utterly insane.
Not really, I'd say, an ideal finishing spot for a lot of teams. There's just so much cover and little corners and angles to play, more so than many of the other POIs on this map. So it's just a matter of who's going to be ratting it out and who is rat hunting. As you see the Ash pop ult, nice traversal. Might catch a team unawares here, but got to be careful of the fence lines. Storm damage is starting to be a problem for a few of these teams, and Unreal Nightmare gets dropped. Huntsman able to stay up and back away, but again, you got to be careful in these late game pushes and rotations. So if you get caught out in zone like this, if you're Fusion, you could be in big trouble.
Fusion right now, obviously having to do that massive reset all the way down at CISO Station. Kimchi has managed to get his way into the zone. For now, is going to survive, as we are now seeing Leave No Witnesses getting drops, Nightblood getting dropped, Aspire and Berserkers and ROC all getting in on the kills. Right now, ROC have made their way into the zone. The scan is coming out. Unreal Nightmare are taken out by Rose Laser. With some insane picks there, what looks like, with the frag grenades, as Aspire now also going down too.
Everybody getting taken out. 12 squads quickly down from 16. 4 squads quickly eliminated on these rotations. Now just kind of holding, waiting for everybody to come on through. Teams that rotate early tend to win. If there's anything that matters most in this Apex Legends series, it's location, location, location. I can't stress it enough. As Oath starts taking down Berserker squads, MCoy taking down Empire. Shots all around, and unfortunately, Oath getting torn asunder. Nano able to escape with 2 HP and a dream, trying to get some hipfire spray and a great knock. Rotating, though, into another squad. They go down, and 10 squads remaining now, as the kill feed is lighting up like a Christmas tree.
I mean, this was utterly insane. Pass Bliss go out, Empire go out, the Rose go out, and Fusion have somehow managed to reset. They've got 2 players remaining, and they are alive for now. As 7 squads remaining, ROC taking that altar portal back. As the reset looks to be coming out from Fusion, and Dan is going to be coming back into this.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful shots. Nade spam coming in, though. January, got to be careful. Dan, though, trying to respawn. Nice ult, getting the heck out of there. Spurtsy on the outside, looking for a shot. 7 squads remaining, folks. This is a very, very fast-paced matchup compared to what we've seen. Granted, it's a bit early, so teams are playing a bit more aggressive. Great shots, gets the knock. Spurtsy doesn't even get cracked, holds the line. Beautiful jobs with that 30-30. Has the PK in the back pocket, so going to get up close and personal here in just a moment as Kimchi on Fusion tries to regain.
Fusion right now managed to get the full reset and somehow are surviving, but they are going to have to go through ROC, who are right in front of them, and that is a dangerous team to go up against. Vaxlon right now leading the charge on the Catalyst, and what's so good about Vaxlon on the Catalyst being up is if the worst comes to worst, they're going to be able to throw that Catalyst wall up. But for now, they're looking to maybe make their way into the zone, which I think is the smart move, as there is nobody in zone right now. They are going to be the first as they enter it.
We do have MCoy Oath sneaking in as well. Players all trying to get some positioning. Here comes Fuse ult. Here comes the ult spam. Descending fire as Overtake trying to take him down. Pixel Lumina gets eliminated. 6 squads left. Cruel Buckle here. We saw him have some pretty legendary runs as a rat, just ratting it out as a solo player, but now, as the full squad, has some playing potential here as MCoy starts laying down the suppressant fire. A great job thus far from all sides. 5 squads remaining. We're in the top 5 now. It's starting to heat up as we continue here. Shots coming in. Grav cannons not being used. You don't want to be sent into zone. Ults being thrown down. It's absolute pandemonium, Ben.
Pandemonium is the best way to describe that right now. Overtake have managed to find a spot as Empire Gaming goes down to a mixture of Oath and ROC. The push is coming out from Overtake, but unfortunately for them, their Newcastle is the one to fall. MCoy down to just 1 player. Is Blinkster going to be able to do the unbelievable, taking down Overtake, but the Thermites are just ticking and ticking. Oh,
Thermites coming in. Yeah, unfortunate there. The Thermites get thrown out. You're able to stay up. Cruel Buckle not giving chase, but here comes the zipline play, trying to track him down. The hip fire spray, zooming and grooving. Come on, brother, get that finish, but has to reload. Unfortunate, going for the repeat now, and finishes. Movie star Koi, unfortunately, going down. Overtaking a top 2 position with Rock. Now let's see. Overtake has the high ground, and they're just gonna let him have it.
Right now, we are seeing Overtake, who have got the high ground, and ROC, who have just reset their final player, are now going to be in a 3 versus 2 after a great knock coming out from Deeds. The Newcastle aggressively swinging with that fully charged devotion. An absolutely revolting weapon to have at the moment. As
coming in hot. Oh, great job. Hipfire spray gets the knock. It's a 2v1 now. Great res coming in from Overtake. Cruel Buckle, though, overextends. And now OTJ trying to stay alive, dropping the ult, but will it be enough? Here comes the push. Rock breaking him down in the 1v1, trying to stay up. Saucer, unfortunately, has to back away. It's a 1v1 for the finish. This is exactly what we were talking about. Here comes the res. Can he get it in time? Yes, Overtake takes the win.
Overtake there with just an incredible positioning and wonderful plays coming out from Jay on that Newcastle. It shows what the power of not just a Newcastle, but a very good Newcastle can have for you. Beautifully done there from Jay. And I have to say, these guys, I was excited to see them last week. They didn't have the best of days out, but that is a strong way to start week number 2. Love to see that. And you said, oh, brother, doing well. These guys are brothers. I believe Jay and Krulbucker are literal brothers outside of the game. And it's great to see a little bit of brotherly love taking them to the win. Beautifully done there from the boys over at Overtake. But a strong showing also really from ROC as well.
Yeah, a really solid performance. We saw a fairly intense and high kill game early. Teams rotating in on, I believe it was the barometer and near the forbidden zone as well, but an absolute just chaotic couple of closing circles before it rotates onto that massive hill by the mountain lift. Again, we saw it go from sort of a lot of little populated buildings, thought it was going to be a bit more slower pace, but once it started rotating out to the open, everyone's getting caught out left, right, and center. Overtake starts game one with 10 kills. ROC right behind with 9, and we saw my boys over at Unreal Nightmare get taken out far too soon. That that hurts, unfortunately.
I know
Yeah.
though for a fact though that Movie Star Koi, although they came in third place, it was almost a given for them that they were going to get a top positioning because of how
Yeah.
just awful that pool was. I think that's the best way to describe it. Everybody went, you know what, this after the first ring scan, this is going to Launchpad. And you saw just how many teams went into Launchpad and died leaving it. Movie Star Koi, however, we saw that little bit of a little scuffle that they had a little bit earlier on was obviously up at Stormcatcher. They managed to win that fight, get the reset. So they were pretty much guaranteed a good spot. Coming in third place right there, although they are going to be very happy with it, I think they're going to be a little bit disappointed. And it was that fight against the eventual winners overtake that was the thing that ended up losing it for them. So unfortunate for Movie Star Koi, but they're going to still be very happy. They got third place, nice 7 points, plus the 4 kills as well, 11 points to kick off the day. They can't be too mad at that. Looking down the leaderboard, though, we are going to be getting a few other teams. And that is the first one has got to be Oath. Coming in 4th place. This is obviously a new organization for this tournament. Not a new team, but it's great to see them doing well. But followed up by Empire Gaming. This is not Empire, this is
we
Empire.
Do have Empire. Okay, I didn't see them initially unloading in. I was confused. I was like, I know both Empire squads are pretty big mainstays in the scene, so I was surprised not to see one of them. But that just goes to show my inexperience as an Apex Legends casters, folks. So I'm a little green around the gills, but don't judge me too harshly. One thing I do have to point out, though, Ben, and on the terms of how just important positioning is, we see Berserkers finish with 7 kills, but they're 11th currently on the leaderboard, unfortunately. So don't necessarily go our wonderful scoreboard. Shout out our solid production team. It's Overtake with that truly insane finish to start off match 1.
Oh, it's great to overtake right there. 22 points. They're going to be very happy with that start. That means basically if they can just replicate that once more with another game that goes reasonably well, they're going to be a match point in potentially record time. But that does rely on them having down the leaderboard. We are seeing a few teams that include Furia that I'm looking at, Leave No Witnesses as well. Teams that we would have probably been expecting to see a little bit further up in the leaderboard did go out early. And ironically, a lot of those teams went out early trying to get a spot that they thought was game winning over at the launch pad. Ended up actually being
attempting
to take it. They went, this is the game winning spot. It went so much further in the other direction. That pull was vile.
Yeah, truly a very, very dangerous pull towards the mountain pass. I mean, that is such a massive hill to overcome, such insane high ground, and I was surprised Overtake with such an aggressive push. They did end up winning the game, but it was way closer than I thought it was going to be. So a great job from ROC. They kept it rock solid, pun fully intended, mind you, as we get ready for game 2. I'm hoping, of course, Unreal Nightmare can bounce back. They had a very rough start, got taken out early, but like you said, that pull and that rotation of those final couple of zones, I think, really messed up a lot of teams' final zone plans. They're like, okay, it's going to pull this way. We're going to be going on the coast. We'll have our backs to the zone. We'll be square. Nah. Game said, we're going to just drop a little chaos in. And that's what I love so much about Apex Legends, is each match, each mode, whatever you are playing, it always feels unique and different, especially with the final zones. And you could say that for most BR games, but with the amount of abilities and combos with set abilities on the table here, it really adds a unique perspective to the game that you cannot really prepare for in any sort of situation. I don't care how much Apex you play, Ben, or anyone in chat. There are just some situations that aren't in the simulator. You just got to go in and lock in.
Well, I think it is a perfect opportunity right now, as we do wait for this next game to start,
Yes.
for a little bit of an ad break. So we're going to be able to see some lovely visuals that have been mocked up by some of these incredible sponsors that are down at the bottom of the screen. I hope that you all enjoy this because they're pretty cool, I do have to say.
Yes. Thank you, sponsors. Y'all are wonderful people. Hello, one and all, and welcome back to the stream. My name is Big Rich X, as you know already. I am joined by the Ben B in the booth, folks. That's a triple B and not the Better Business Bureau, and don't you forget it. As we get ready for match number 2, we saw an incredible finish between Overtake and ROC on the rock, on the hill, in the game, on the map. You know where it is. You know that already. I'm just yapping to yap. That's my job. Ben, who you got taking match 2? Who is your contender to take home the W in our second match of this wonderful, wonderful evening?
Well, I don't know about you, but I love a good underdog story. A team that went out early, bouncing back in that second one. The team that went out first in game number 1 was Citadel. So I'm just going to go, you know what, underdog story. Let's go it. Citadel, game number 2. Please do right for me, Citadel.
Okay, we'll see what Citadel can get done. I, of course, want Unreal Nightmare to get something on the board, hopefully contend a little bit. We saw how dominant they were last time, and I'm hopeful that they can continue to show off and show out. But, you know, it's just a matter of the drops, what kind of loot are you getting, and as we saw how dangerous those rotations and pulls can be for those final couple of circles when you are just going, you know, sort of like shooting fish in a barrel style, sprinting across the map, trying to rotate. You might run into some teams, you might catch some teams unawares, but at the end of the day, it's trying to prep for that final circle. So hopefully we can see players get a bit better positioning as we get loaded on in for match number 2.
Match number 2, obviously going to be going back onto Storm Point. It was a great ending for that. I wouldn't say a great ending. I'd say that it was an insane just before the ending, as everybody had to leave. This next map is going to be an interesting one. We're going to be obviously waiting right now to see where we're going to be pulling. I don't know about you, but somewhere I'd like to go maybe down towards Barometer. Always do enjoy the Barometer end games. We'll have to wait and see whether it does pull down that way. But are there any particular end games that you like, Big Rich?
On Storm Point, I do enjoy the down beast just because that makes things a bit interesting. Command Center is always a bit mixy just because it's, you know, it's just a very compact indoors area where you have limited angles and limited movement. So I'm hopeful we see something.
So it does look like, as you can probably see by the way, as going back, it looks like we're going to have a quick restart of the game. Just a technical issue. Whilst we are going to be doing that, I do want to say, actually, as you saw, we only had 19 teams in that first game. That is because, unfortunately, the lads over at Orchid, something's just come up. Completely understandable. Yep. But we're going to be replacing them with an exciting team. And that is going to be the lads at Villainous. These guys are an absolute joy to watch, and I'm extremely excited for Villainous to be here this evening.
Yes, I'm excited to see how they perform as well. You know, with some recent films, we've seen villains taken into sort of a lighter tone. We get their sad backstories, and they're portrayed more as an anti-hero than a straight villain. What I need from Villainous is to feed into that dark energy, that dark side, be the bad guy. As much as everyone loves cheering on the good guy, a good guy is only as good as his opposite. You know, every Batman needs their Joker, every Superman needs his Lex Luthor. They are two sides of the same coin, as we all know. So Villainous, if you can be a bit bad, drop a couple of tea bags maybe. I don't know, shoot a couple of death boxes. I don't know. I'm throwing stuff out there because I want to stir the pot, folks. I'm just trying to stir the pot. I love drama. I love seeing it on the timeline. You post the clips. You do a little emo, do a little dancey dance on the final zone after you take home a W. We'll see what happens. But, you know, Villainous, I'm excited to see what you can bring to the table.
Well, I mean, these guys were in Challenger Circuit. They were a team that were vying for the Pro League just last year. And they came through and managed to make it into the Pro League for this first split and have made it to the regional finals, which are going to be getting played tomorrow, obviously, over on the main ALGS feed.
Very fun.
Be sure that you're going to be watching that, because these guys are a Challenger Circuit team. They are no Challenger Circuit no longer. These guys are pro level, and they are showing that. They've made it to the regional finals, and if they are able to come away with the dub tomorrow night, there is a chance that they might be making it to the LAN over at the EWC.
Yeah, I am hopeful for all of these teams. They're getting warmed up. They're getting practice. As we see Villainous sort of dead center of the map, they're a bit spread out, but no real early engagements to worry about just yet. As Movie Star, Koi, and Co. just getting set and squared away. Oath now just, again, it's these early sort of picks and choices with weaponry. Like, I've seen a lot more energy weapon use with the Nemesis and Devotion being picked up for the medium and close range combat. And we saw a couple of long range uses of the Devotion as well, just beaming people. When you start spraying with that kind of rapid fire potential that the Devotion has once it gets warmed up, it can be quite scary across flat ground.
As we are now going to be getting that first ring pull, it looks like, and for right now, it looks like
an upgrade has been selected.
Oh, I am here. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me.
You
Okay,
cut out for a second.
Oh, sorry. Must have been just a brief. I was just saying, though, we are going to be pulling in a very similar direction to where we pulled last time. That Stormcatcher, that hill, looks like it is going to be where we're going. So for teams who did well last time, they're going to be pretty excited because there's an opportunity for them to do the same again.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that we continue to see some interesting final zones and pulls. I know teams are going to be a bit more hesitant fully rotating and getting set up based on the pull of last time, but if anyone knows this game better than me, it's the players we are watching now, both on Eternal Focus and on the map in general, and I will trust their judgment over mine any day. I'm just here to yap. We saw Mank get taken out a bit early, so they're going to go for a quick res. Oath needs their peeps back up. They need a full squad. As Villainous gets a quick scan off themselves, they're going to see him on that respawn beacon, so we might get a little bit of action from this Villainous squad once they begin rotating. As we see him up top just trying to scan, look for those angles, those shots, but now just rotating in. They got to be careful here, though. You don't want to go down early, especially as the sort of new squad on the block.
I mean, right now, Villainous are going to be locating themselves just on the edge of zone, but a team that are not going to be on the edge of zone, and that is going to be Aspire, who have hit that ring and have very quickly come straight over to this location. They're now going to be taking a little bit of damage, though, right now, and ooh, unfortunate for Ghost, who have just absolutely eaten that Ash Snare, the Fuse Knuckle Cluster, the Nades, and Nightblood, dropping down from the height of Stormcatcher, trying to get some damage.
Yeah, a great job from Aspire staying up and keeping them away, at least for the moment, but Nightblood has the high ground, so you have to be careful when peeking. They definitely have the advantage here as Unreal Nightmare trading some shots, as unfortunately your pick Citadel was taken out early once again. Furia gets some drops on Unreal Nightmare, so they got to be careful as well. So both of our picks in trouble early or just outright eliminated.
As it does look like, actually, JMO has, the coach, has dropped out and Madness has made it to his PC. We're going to be having Madness now on the full Furia roster, and they have very quickly come straight to this zone, and they're looking for a good spot and potentially a little bit of action as well.
They're trying to find that action, get some shots off the 30-30 with the 3X is a dangerous combo indeed. Spotting one, looking, tracking, trying to find those hits, but getting beamed, knocked, almost taken out, gets cracked, but able to stay up as Berserkers down below, realizing they are shooting at something, decide to take a peek. Mamba with the shots, able to get the knock on Unreal Nightmare. No, Huntsman unfortunately going down, and now Berserkers in a bit of a tough spot here as they are on the low ground. They gotta maintain cover.
right now. MCoy getting a knock onto Rosa, or Forge Wolves Gaming. Jay from the Overtakers is also being taken down as well by PB. So there's some names going down in the chat right now. But Aspire, who
going down indeed, yeah.
Aspire, who obviously lost that one to that just barrage of nades, have managed to recover for now. They're locating themselves in the opposite little staircase to where Lino witnesses have located themselves. And Aspire are just going to hope that they're going to be able to get some kills back, as we're having our first proper free cam shot to the wonderful Kenny, who is going to be on this free cam mode. They're always gorgeous, aren't they? I love a good free cam moment.
Drop dead gorgeous. Gives you a nice panoramic view. Gives you a real true sense of teams in a given area, as well as just how close or how far away they are. And it gives you a sort of grandiose scale of the map you may take for granted in a pub situation. Because you're on the ground, you don't get that eye in the sky kind of view every day. Villainous here rotating and wrapping up, trying to get set and squared away just outside command center. And, you know, I was talking about it a bit earlier, but if we could get a little pull to command center, I'm going to be all the more excited. I just need Bloodhound to show up at some point, and then I will be content, Ben.
I mean, I think we might have to wait a little bit, but we are seeing that Aspire Gaming, it looks like, are going to be getting that res over at Stormcatcher. So hopefully for Aspire, they are going to be able to stick that nicely. Furia, though, Noct is going to be Ash ulting straight onto his teammates, as we are seeing Oath MJ getting taken down, as our Eternal Focus, who have been taken out by Oath. So for now, Eternal Focus's game is over, but I'm sure we'll be seeing them back with a bang in our future games. We also did see as well MCoy taking down the team of Forge Wolves Gaming. That was all the way at the very north in Zeus Station. Obviously, interesting to see this is that because of that horrendous pull we had in game number 1, MCoy basically were gifted a god spot in the zone, which they translated into a third place positioning. But for right now, because of the pull being a little bit more consistent with a Stormcatcher ending, they've now instead got a little bit more of a tougher journey. They are so many other teams already located themselves in Stormcatcher, and they're going to have to fight their way in.
Trying to fight your way in, and it's going to be a very difficult fight, as evidenced by our previous matchup, as Furia continue to trade shots here as they try to rotate in. They got Aspire, Nightblood, and a whole bunch of teams to deal with. Pixelumina, as far as I can tell, very far on the outside, trying to find a way in as well. Fusion here, now trying to get set up. Shots being taken, looking for that knock as Unreal Nightmare gets taken out. Rails was trying to rat it out, but unfortunately gets dropped. So another early finish for Unreal Nightmare, and they are just not having a good day for me.
They really are not, and the team which is on this bit of hype right now is going to be Villainous, our new team into the lobby, replacing Team Orchid. And they're right now under a bit of pressure, and that is going to be from Oath, who's obviously have already taken down some teams, including Eternal Focus, and they're going to be getting aggressive. They're looking to push up onto this. The Devotion, fully turbocharged, is singing right now, and singing good. Villainous getting taken out, but there's an instant third party coming out.
Yeah, that is the big issue with a lot of BRs. The second you are done with another fight, or with one fight, here comes another one. You don't have time to prep. Fusion coming in. Crypto gonna cause some chaos. You get to the high ground with the Ash ult, and now just peppering in shots, trying to run away, almost getting the knock, but not quite. Fusion takes the high ground here, just behind, or excuse me, just outside of Command Center, as teams continue to get set up for this final zone. MCoy sliding in. Fusion here still tracking, overtake, looking for anything, as Oath on the outside, going to be going through Command Center actually, and should be able to meet all these squads on the front balcony.
As we are going to see, obviously, that map overlay. In the meantime, MCoy, who we mentioned were coming all the way from the Zeus station at the very top, have jumped in and are being taken out right now. MCoy having a bit of a tough time. They haven't gone fully out yet, as Jet.
Oh!
That really was a caster curse. I'm sorry. I'm so
Koi
sorry, MCoy.
just got eliminated by Nightblood. The Q from Ash. Lorzy had a great toss, was 10 HP in a dream, and Koi just got caught. That is unfortunate timing. Could not get the heal off in time. You get hit for that 10 damage, and sometimes that's all it takes. As Rose goes down, teams quickly getting dropped, 30-30s all over the place. And now, Past Bliss trying to rotate on through. They're eating some damage, but they're getting some knocks on Overtake as they rotate on in.
Past Bliss right now kicks on that fuse, trying to get some shots down with the 30-30, as we are seeing Zen swing with that devotion, but unfortunately falls himself. The trade for trade coming in, it's just down to Cruel Buckle. It's a 1v1, I believe. As Cruel Buckle trying to take the height, one of the only Pathfinders currently in the game.
Get it.
Oh my god, Past Bliss have been taken out. Cruel Buckle going crazy. Buckle up, folks. We are in for a good one.
It's Ben B, Big Rich, and Buckle, baby. Overtake with a great job, but can they escape the zone? The damage may be too much. They do have the redeploy beacon, thankfully, in their back pocket. Chase needs to get this med kit off it, but just barely, as we start to collect here on the Storm Point. Pun fully intended once again, as Nightblood, Empire, Spurtsy and Co., everybody sort of playing for this high ground. If you're in this main building, that's a lot of ground to cover, so you have to play your positioning right.
As we are seeing Kenny's lovely overlay, as right now Empire and Empire going down. Empire have been taken out. One of our two Empires in this lobby, and it's going to be the without the E Empire going out this time around. But Fusion, who have pushed their way into this building, obviously they were on that compound just outside towards Stormcatcher, towards Command Center even, have managed to make their way in. January has taken a lot of damage. It's going to have to reset. And Kimchi just shielding up. The winners of week number 1 have taken down Leave No Witnesses. They have left the building, and we're down to our final 10 squads.
Final 10. I gotta tell you, folks, this is a lot faster pace, a lot more intense than our previous day. I mean, to have 10 squads remaining with this size of zone is nearly unfathomable compared to last time. So a lot more intense action moving forward, and I'm for one a bit grateful for it. I'm not really a fan of the passive. We'll sit on by, wait for teams to push to us. Now teams are starting to rotate as Pixel Lumina gets taken out. Furia just absolutely annihilating that PK up close and personal, causing all sorts of problems. As Furia gets set and squared away, we're back on this giant hill, which can cause problems for a lot of teams. You're playing center zone. You can see everything, but everything can see you. So Fusion have to be careful here up top. They're going to get pressed from all sides. But if you want to be king of the hill, you got to be able to wear that crown and not let your neck get too bent over.
This is next zone. A lot of the time when you have a Stormcatcher, you might pull a little bit south, as we saw in the last game. You might pull over to where the Berserkers are currently located. Not today. This is going to be having a zone pool that is going to be rather disgusting. It's going to be pulling more over to the west-hand side, over towards the command center area, just off the edge. And there's basically going to be enough space for one team to maybe reserve themselves on the height. Everybody else is just going to have to play in the open. So I would not be surprised if we maybe only have 2 squads, maybe 3 at most, into that final zone. But for right now, it's going to get into a bit of a bloodbath as Fusion are one of these teams on the height. The other team is going to be Aspire Gaming, with a little bit of a guest starring from NIP Kurev coming in as the substitute for today. There we go, Aspire Gaming right now. I'm a big fan of Kurev. He obviously was previously on the Luminosity, not the Luminosity, sorry. Wait, is it Luminosity? God, my brain is now just gone. It's already
Either way,
midnight.
they're here now. That's what matters.
They're
here now.
Now,
I'm
happy for that. As
Exactly.
Nightblood, big shots.
Oh, Nightblood, you got to stay up here. Legatron, you don't skip leg day for a reason. Stay up and stay alive. Berserker coming in, trying to find the finish but going for the res instead. I like this play. You're just trying to keep your players up. You're going to jabate the res. Great push, and Nightblood just got jabated. Absolutely bamboozled and foozled, but there's no foozling here today. I do not see a Mirage in sight, but either way, Berserk able to stay up and stay alive in compelling fashion there in a very heated gunfight. As this zone starts to close, we're on Stormcatcher. Some teams might still be able to hang on to the top, but as zone pulls in towards them, it's going to get all the more chaotic. Furia and Fusion basically right on top of one another.
I mean, this is going to be a chaotic end to the zone right now, as the teams have obviously made their way into this building here in Stormcatcher. Some of them inside, some of them on top, some of them below, as we're now seeing here from Overtake. But Aspire, who have been located within Stormcatcher for a hell of a long time, are now going to have to try and defend what they claimed as their home.
It's going to be a very tough spot. Quickly dropping that Sparrow arrow as Oath tries to hold the line once again. Now just Aspire beaming back and forth. They have the inside. They redecorated. They got the posters up. They're able to play these head glitches so well on these little control center booths. ROC on the outside looking in. They're going to have pretty much zero cover. Luckily, you're at 75% for your castle ult, so you just got to play it right and hope that you can get it in time before the rotation as the Stinger Bolt comes in. 7 squads still up, 19 people on the lobby. Got a couple of two-mans out there. Oath still with the high ground. As this final zone, you're going to have a couple of teams fighting for that last little precious spot on Stormcatcher in this sort of top left-hand corner of the platform. You got to be careful here, Ben. This is going to be a very mixy finish for these 7 squads.
It most certainly is, and as you said, there is obviously the duo left of the Berserkers, who are going to be moving over from that compound section. They're going to just try and force their way in through any fashion. But the team for me that I think is looking likely to win it is, I think, ROC. They are the only team out of the 7 remaining who are not either inside, on top, or below the Stormcatcher building. It's pretty much free pickings if they're able to pick them off, as the Berserkers, that duo, have fallen. We're down to 6 squads, and everybody is going to have to fall right now. The Ash ults are being expended with teams trying to leave.
Great shots.
Catalyst walls are coming out, trying to stop Vision. But right now, Furia are that team who look like they're going down at the moment. The res is coming out from Keon, is sticking it, but they've used everything to try and survive.
Just about everything, but as long as you stay up, you get that positioning as Oath gets taken out. Our number 3 finisher going down in number 6. We are in top 5 now, folks, and this last little shred, this last little corner, so pivotal if you're able to maintain that high ground. As you see, Fusion is holding the line, but only barely. Ash tossing out a couple of Qs, trying to get those snares to hit, just to cause that little extra bit of damage as Aspire. You have Karev here lurking, and Ratton trying to go for a god nade on this Fusion squad, and now going for the res. 3 squad shots coming in. It's a crazy finish, Ben, as always.
It most certainly is. I said that there might be 3 squads remaining at most going into this final zone, and that is exactly what has happened. ROC, the team that we mentioned, had the most dominant position in the zone purely for the fact that they basically had it all to themselves, with everybody having to leave the building. Look like they are going to be the ones that are going to close it out. It is going to be a 3v3 versus 1. There is Kurev, who is still alive as a solo down the bottom, who could cause a little bit of upset. But I think that right now, Fusion on the top are going to potentially have to just try and play for second, jump down, take down Kurev.
Here they go.
Which looks like exactly what's going to happen. But one has fallen. Aspire do go down.
Ooh, great nade.
And they are ROC
Baby.
on top. They are flying high as they take the win in game number 2.
What a nade.
Insane nade. An insane ending and just beautiful positioning ultimately from the boys.
Was it a nade or an arc star? I didn't see. I believe it might have been an arc star, but either way, perfectly thrown. Pretty much hit everybody, and then it was just a quick one tap, Old Yeller style with the PK to finish. My goodness, what a play from ROC. They played that perfectly. Patience is a virtue, folks. You may have had the high ground for a majority of that, but in the end, it cost you. You have to drop down, and Kurev just being that last little thorn that trips you up at the finish line. Unfortunate there. Teams, but ROC able to take the lead after match 2. Overtake still close. They had a pretty darn good game. They're already slaying out as well with 18 kills total. But ROC with the positioning, like you were saying, Ben.
Most definitely. I mean, they were my squad to watch from last week. ROC ultimately didn't pull out in the way that I was expecting, but with Sorcerer having come in as the new IGL for the team, it looks like things are starting to click for them. They had a great end to the split after a little bit of a rocky start, but it's great to see. That was just me. That's but yeah, it's great
exposed.
To see them. I'm exposed. I mean, you know what? He was just saying, you know what? I called them out last week. It's giving them the limelight for me. That's what it was. But yeah, ROC coming in as your leaders going into game number 3. 36 points, I believe that was there. They are going to only be 14 points off that. That's a win with 2 kills. So not too far off for ROC. And we've seen they are able to win a match.
Yeah, no complaints here either way. What a finish, what a play. A great job through and through. We're getting ready and set and squared away for map 3. Villainous had some moments in there, at least able to get some shots off, but unfortunately taken out a little too early. So hopefully we can see them get something going as well. A lot of teams here, I'm surprised to say, especially Unreal Nightmare. We saw what an incredible performance they had last game. Forged Wolves as well. Citadel even, getting taken out back-to-back games. So it just goes to show you with what time and what with just how things are going for each team, it can be sort of night and day difference on who's really showing up and who's showing out. Maybe teams are just sort of saving their sort of apex creative juices for tomorrow, but it's do or die time right now. It's already match 2. If you're not getting some points, you're not getting some decent placement, you're going to be playing catch up for the rest of the day. And as much as I enjoy that red condiment, I don't want it that much.
I mean, I'm excited to see how we go. We have had, obviously, some bans coming out. Game number 1, I believe it was Alter. I can't remember seeing Alter in that second game. The second one is going to be Ash. So we've had our 2 AA Portal players. They're going to be out for now. So we might start now seeing a little bit more of a Pathfinder. It's not happening, Break Rich.
No, I'm putting it it's subtle messaging, subliminal messaging. So you keep, I'll just whisper it in the background. So teams, if they're watching the stream, it is on a delay, but if you hear it, someone pick Bloodhound, you will make me very happy. I know it's not the go-to pick, but a quick little scan, know where people are at, might be a little helpful. I don't know. Just saying.
Just saying. To be fair, as we said last time, they're going to be Bloodhound might come out a little bit later. Maybe when teams are having to get a bit aggressive. At the end of the day,
I know they'll be picked for the aggressive team. We saw a Revenant picked. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for a Bloodhound, but I understand it's not the strat. It's not the meta. Everybody's got to use these handful of guns and this handful of legends. But hey, as long as you are having fun, you play whoever you want. Okay, I'm just like, hey, pick Bloodhound every now and again. Maybe just throw it in there. Throw a wrench into everybody else's plans. If you pick a Bloodhound early, who knows? They may not be ready for it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, talking about having hands full, I think now's a perfect opportunity to maybe just do a little bit further of the unboxing. So obviously, got the nice, lovely box.
Great packaging.
Got the lovely personalized letter.
Gotta put the name on there. Let them know whose controller is it. Oh, the case, little satin cloth in its own little case.
Satin.
It's a case within a case. So we've unboxed a box. I didn't know what to get you this year, so I got you this box. So, what does the box say on the inside? What is the infinite possibilities, unlimited potential? If that doesn't sum up my biography whenever I publish it, I don't know what does. Anyways, folks, we're getting ready for map number 3. I'm excited to see that controller. I'm even more excited to see if Ben can use it to great effect. Because if I have the chair and he has the controller, I think we might be an unstoppable duo. Once we get Mark back in here, if we get him, I know he's using that OBS spot camera. So we have the trifecta, folks. We have the trifecta. We'd be unstoppable as a trio. Granted, we can't enter the series ourselves, just to remain impartial. But you teams, you watch out, because if we load in, you might be sweating a little bit.
I think that I think all come together as one glorious cast. So with all of the beautiful products, and yourself obviously in a beautiful shirt as well, which cannot go amiss. But we are going to be moving over to a different map. We're currently seeing some overlays of the Storm Point one. That's not actually going to be where we're going. We're actually going to be going to Broken Boom, but these were obviously we didn't see those in the first few, so I think it's only right that we get to see some of Kenny's lovely B-roll footage as we are going to be jumping in to Broken Moon this time out. Obviously a map which is the most new to the competitive space, but it has been seeing obviously a lot of action over on the ALGS. When we've been seeing a lot of Broken Moon in the NA the NA Pro League, it's been basically going up to Alpha Base a hell of a lot. Will we be seeing Alpha Base again? I don't know just yet, but hopefully we are going to be seeing it pretty soon when the map does pull in. But I'm excited to see some games.
Yes, always excited to see some games, always excited to be casting it, especially with the Ben B in the booth. Folks, as we get loaded in, I'm wanting to see some quarantine zone. I'm wanting to see a bit more of a urban or building landscape for Final Zone, because we've seen a lot of open spaces so far where players are sort of having to use the natural cover that the environment provides. But I want to see some building plays, some utilizing the verticality in that Final Zone, and see how that sort of affects a final circle. I mean, we actually did see it a little bit, obviously, with Stormcatcher. I sound like a complete fool and hypocrite now, but you know what I mean. I want players going building to building, shoulder check-in, doing whatever they can to find that extra kill or that extra placement. So, again, it's sort of the early going, but with the map change, we might go back to sort of that slower pace, but these players are playing hot, they're playing sweaty, and it's getting all sorts of hot and heavy. Not that way. Don't get your minds out of the gutter, chat. But either way, we're getting into it.
As it looks like we are going to be getting that first ring pull that is going to have come into play. With the initial one, you might have thought it might be pulling a little bit more towards the north. It's in fact going to be dropping down, and that is going to be having a Terraformer Hazmat Tunnel finish, which Leave No Witnesses are a team which landed, I believe, at Terraformer. Unreal Nightmare are also going to be a team that are going to be nearby, as are Furia as well. So 3 teams who are going to be very happy with where that is going to be pulling.
Yeah, again, sorry, go ahead, Ben.
I was going to say, I just noticed Empire are going down, as now are Rose as well.
Oh, wow.
Laser getting taken down by Villainous, our new team into this lobby. Are taking down Rose.
Oh, we whiffed!
It's just down to Dynasty right now. Rose, who we mentioned last week, have got an insanely beautiful shirt. Some beautiful reds and pinks, I believe, in there. And I'm hoping to get my fingers on one of them very soon. But right now, the team that tried to take them out in Villainous are going to be potentially now falling, as Fusion are going to be the ones pushing up onto it.
And here comes the push. Villainous taking down Rose. Fusion, the kill feed once again, just lighting up. Cruel Buckle going to work as Newcastle ult's getting dropped early. Gonna be pushing in. Cruel Buckle, gotta repair those shields, brother. Be careful on this push. The high ground looking like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Cruel Buckle giving chase. He is a Pathfinder, and his path has been found. Unfortunately, whiffing some shots with that R301, but trying to chase down and just poking as Overtake continues to give chase. Great shot so far. Still 20 squads up. We've seen a couple of knocks and elims, but no one getting fully elimed just yet. No squads, I should say.
I mean, what's insane right now, we've got 48 people alive, which means that there are 12 people out of this game right now. Sorry, take that back. There are 13 people out of this game, but not a single squad have fallen. This has been an aggressive start, but thankfully, for so many of these teams, people are able to get away, whether that's as a solo, as we are seeing our first 2 teams go down, and that is going to be Pass Bliss and Movie Star Koi. Aspire picking up the kills.
Yeah, a great job. Pixel Lumina getting some shots on overtake, I believe, as Oath here gets set and squared away. Aspire able to get re-healed, repaired, resituated. As, again, Pixel taking down overtake. Shots coming in across the map. Everyone's starting to rotate on over. Looks like it's going to be a final zone towards Terraforma, so not necessarily the building landscape I'm looking for, but still should prove to be an interesting final zone once we get there. As we, again, get these beautiful flyover shots, get that bird's eye view. We got Pixel Lumina and Villainous fast approaching one another, due for a collision course of chaos, and I'm ready for it.
As we now jump on board with ROC, obviously our winners of game number 2. They're going to be hoping to get some good placement. They are going to be currently just north of where this next ring is going to be pulling, obviously just north of Terraforma. Quite a lot of teams right now not really prioritizing Terraforma as an actual location. There's only one team who are currently residing within that. That is going to be Nightblood Gaming. So there's still a lot of the location and the POI still available if teams do want to move in. But right now we are seeing a lot of teams who are facing up against each other on the edge, with the next potentially being Villainous and Fusion, as well as the likes of Overtake and Aspire. Empire Gaming, in the meantime, though, are going to be making their way on the jump tower here. I mean, this is the most beautiful jump tower in the game, with that lovely stained glass windows. And that's going to be where Empire are going to be fighting. Shots are going down here, and this is going to be Berserkers that they're going to be fighting up against.
Oh, this would be a huge pick to take down this Berserker squad who's been playing phenomenally and been slaying out, I might add, from the get-go. Looking for the shots. 30-30 can't hit, and Berserker stays alive with just 10 HP and a dream. Cersei, my goodness, what a save, what a clutch. And that is the problem with the 30-30, Ben. If you're not hitting your shots with it, you are whiffing left, right, and center. Oof. Big oof.
You are completely right. And if there's one player that you don't want to be going up against in a little 1v1 right there, that is going to be Cersei, obviously our MVP from week number 1. And that is a gorgeous shot there from Mav, the charged up Sentinel. Absolutely smacking heads.
Smacking heads, smacking skulls, and just smacking their way on to zone. Citadel trying to get something going as well. They've been taken out fairly early in back-to-back games, so they need to have, I want to give them at least a top 10 performance here. They need to get into those final fights, get some kills, get some picks. You don't necessarily need to win this early, but you need to start getting some final finishes soon. Or at least in top 10, I should say, as Berserkers, again, dealing with a little bit of pressure, I believe, with FWG, the Forged Wolves squad. So they got to be careful here. Berserkers have been fighting, but they've stayed alive for a reason.
Forged Wolves Gaming now, a team who are absolutely smacking against Cersei, and that is the player you want to be taking down. He's obviously just clutched up in the 1v1. Cersei, first to fall from this Berserker's roster, but is not the last to fall, as Mamba also goes down. It's just down to one player remaining for the Berserker roster.
Oh, gotta be careful. Unfortunate there as Mamba gets taken out, but hopefully the rest of the squad can have that Mamba mentality here. Aspire already dealing with some zone pressure, but I think they're just rotating back, trying to track down and get that scan. That is going to be huge for Aspire, so it'll be worth a little bit of storm damage, and you have the redeploy, so you're not too terribly worried. As Mav here starting to rotate through, taking out those Watson fence lines. Great shot on Newcastle, as I believe they are getting into some fights. Citadel trying to get an early pick. Again, they got solid damage thus far, but you need to find that kill. You need to get those E-limbs. You need to get your points up ASAP.
Mav, we've already seen him hit that absolute banging headshot a little bit earlier on. We're going to hope to maybe come back and see Mav hit some more a little bit later on, as we're seeing Oath, who are currently residing inside that massive POI in the middle that is quarantine zone, but that they can't live there for long. They're going to have to make their way in, whether that be via the hazmat tunnel itself or via one of the other paths. As we are seeing Pixel Nightblood Gaming inside of Terraformer right now, and that is going to be around about where it's going to be from. We're going to have about half of Terraformer and half of hazmat tunnel are going to be left in this zone.
Oh, nice bird's eye view we get yet again. Maybe players do get to see it more often than we think if they're running crypto in their squad. Get to get that nice fly over angle of all the teams.
Enemy. We should move there, companions.
Rotating on through now, Spire. Trying to find something. But again, nothing really coalescing. They do see some shots being fired. They know players are in their vicinity, but no one's showing up in their scopes and sights. Spire, got to be careful here. Payne going for the repair on his shields. You don't want to get cracked too early in a gunfight. You're going to go down quick. Here comes the push. Not going to work out too well. Kurev going to knock you, or Ghostilla is taking it down. Kurev doing some of the major damage as Aspire take on Pixel Lumina here.
Some movement coming in from Kurev to try and avoid the damage from that Sparrow ult. Managing to do just about enough to get himself around the corner. As we're going to be seeing this lovely free cam here of people having to leave quarantine zone and make their way in to the hazmat tunnel.
Rotating on through. Gotta be careful here. Oath on the outside. Pixel Lumina down to a 2-man. Now just trying to track down. Gonna rotate up. Should be able to get the banner. So not the end of the world. Your squad is still up. Laser in the corner there with Villainous and Overtake. As Villainous and Overtake start going at it, everybody's starting to rotate in. There's a big wide open space in the center of this final circle, but plenty of buildings to play in and around on. As Laser here with the bow check, and wasn't able to see their secondary weapon, but a bow check this late in close quarters combat may not be the strat. As Empire begins rotating on through. Oath trying to rotate and get some better positioning. It's getting a bit close. It's getting a bit heated, so we're going to start seeing some squads drop pretty darn soon. Villainous with the drop on Overtake as Rose gets eliminated. Overtake able to get another elim. 15 squads left. Oath here, again, rotating in on the outside, trying to find something. Got that G7 Scout, which can just melt at distance. Devotion in hand as well, so plenty of melting capabilities in the hands of Oath. As they rotate in, should be able to get some zone positioning, but they're going to be just on the edge as the Forged Wolves take on Unreal Nightmare on the outside. Pressure coming from both sides, though.
It most certainly is. Nightblood Gaming currently on the top here of Terraformer. Aspire, who are not quite beneath them. They're not going to be beneath them, though. I don't know what I'm saying here. As Berserkers trying to get some shots down onto Unreal Nightmare. As Forged Wolf Gaming are also in this fight as well. It's pretty much chaos as the teams are just trying to make their way in. There's no cover, but thankfully the Bangalore smokes are at least going out by Nano to give them a little bit of cover, temporarily at least, getting the quick shield swap onto Unreal Nightmare, who have fallen in 15th spot. At least they've managed to get 1 point via their placement. And Nano, smoking, doing anything he can to survive. Woo! It might not be long that they are left for this world, as Villainous and Overtake are taken out as well.
And Overtake, our current #1 placeholder, unfortunately dropped relatively early. They will not get to that top 10 positioning, I don't believe, or they might have just finished top 10. Just have to wait and see. But either way, Spurtsy on the outside here. Eternal Focus trying to find a way out. Again, the rotation's critical here. They are the outsiders looking in. Empire has a perfect hold waiting for them to rotate. You have the Newcastle ult drop down. You have plenty of cover, and you can just toy with Eternal Focus. You have zone, you have a high ground, you have everything. So it's almost a free pick. You just got to play your cards right as teams begin to rotate on through.
Just very quickly, the ring, it's pulled away from Terraformer. It's gone towards Furia, and then it's bounced back down. Fusion our winners of week number 1 are going to have the best spot. A great little map overview. Thank you for production for pulling that up. As we're going to go back into the gaming now, and ROC are the ones who are going to be falling as Deeds is down.
Unfortunate there. Nightblood looking for the push, sliding out, trying to get that knock, and finally able to take him down. Rotating on through with the Devotion and G7 Scout. Like we were saying, a dangerous and deadly wombo combo. Shots coming in on Furious 6, but they're able to block it thanks to Newcastle. Great shots traded as Citadel continues to get some damage, but I don't believe they are able to get any kills as Aspire goes down. We're in the top 10, so Citadel getting that top 10 finish at a minimum, so they should be in decent positioning to grab some points finally.
Citadel, obviously, Storm Point just wasn't their map, and they are absolutely coming to just the forefront of their abilities, particularly Mav for that Sentinel. We've seen shots coming out from them in glorious styles. The ring is now going to be closing. They're going to be compressing their way, leaving Terraformer, leaving the Hazmat Tunnel, and coming to what is going to be a fairly open space. Just the natural terrain to give them cover.
That's exactly what I was hoping to avoid. I saw the Terraforma finish, but unfortunately it just wasn't there. It's not meant to be. It's not in the cards. So your Newcastles here are going to come in clutch here. Plenty of shields. Catalyst coming in with the walls as well. But I'd much rather have a Newcastle ult, if I'm being honest. As Pixel Lumina goes down, Oath is ratting it out. Triss playing for positioning as 8 squads remain, Ben.
8 squads are alive. Eternal Focus are one of them. A team, again, that hasn't had the best of days so far. They're going to be very happy with the fact that they are in the top 8 right now, as Empire Vanny is going to be going down and is going to be going out. Thankfully for Empire, they are going to have a crafter right next to them. I don't know whether, however, it might have been used. Sounds like it is being popped, though, so they are going to be able to get their player back. And with the fact that they've got a Newcastle in this team, they are going to be getting a respawn beacon out of that to potentially instantly hit that res, as Nightblood Gaming are your next team to fall. Furia, who thought they had an incredible spot with the zone pull a moment ago, are now realizing that they're going to have to move. And this is where Newcastle, as you mentioned, is going to come into play. They're going to be able to force a position, give themselves some slightly unnatural cover.
And Oath in a very tough predicament here, just hiding underneath Eternal Focus right now. As you see Empire descending shots on Eternal. Berserkers rotating right behind Fusion. January still up and a solo player as well. So a couple of rats in this final lobby. Just ratting it out, holding strong, trying to stay up. Shots coming in. Newcastle ults being dropped. The walls are coming up. And now Empire just trying to hold the line. They have positioning and just popping shots from cover. 7 squads still remain, but Citadel takes down Furia. 2 down on Furia, and there they go. Citadel takes down Furia.
I mean, Pluto here, showing that they are real. They are a reality in this lobby, and they are going to be taking them down. But unfortunately, they themselves fall afterwards, and that is going to be the Berserkers, Mamba and Nano, who managed to reset after they get almost taken out by Forge Wolves Gaming all the way down at the south point of the zone. They are back with a vengeance, as they are now going to be getting taken down by Spirit Sea. This is basically, you get it down, it's insane.
Exactly. Berserkers go down. We're in a top 4. Berserkers get a solid finish this time around. They were slain out for this matchup, so they should be able to jump up a couple of positions as Empire rotating on through, looking for an angle. Trying to find anything, waiting for it. May have been body blocked, unfortunately, but that's just unfortunate timing. Rotating up now. Shots, angles coming in as Vanny looks for it. Spurtsy on the high ground, going to be dropping in. Looking for something, but it's just the wrong angle that they can't find it. So Eternal Focus gets eliminated by Oath instead, and it's Oath with an incredible play, but unfortunately goes down. There's 2 squads remaining. Can they stay up and stay alive? It's going to be Fusion down below, sliding in and up and around. Here comes the Mastiff. Boom, baby. Empire taking the W.
Empire Gaming right there. Absolutely beautifully played. They understood that they needed to take that fight against the team hiding behind the Newcastle ult. pushed them off the high, and it just gave them the freest of wins, particularly when you had 2 solos of the other teams remaining in Oath. And
Oath 1v3'd and got the squad wipe from down below. What a finish for Oath. I mean, congratulations, Empire, for the win through and through. But Oath went absolutely crazy in the canyon, down in the gutter, maybe ratting it out, but give that rat a big old slice of cheese. Absolutely impressive from Oath through and through.
10 kills. 10 kills Oath got there. 3rd place with 10 kills. They are not going to be too mad about that. A great way. I mean, ballistic, way crazy.
He went ballistic, dare I say.
just a little bit. It was insane to see. Oath there, 17 points on the board. It's great to see. Looking down, we are going to be seeing now Overtake have overtaken ROC and reclaimed their spots at the top. Obviously, Overtake with the game number 1 win, ROC with the game number 2 win, and Oath with the game number 3 win. I'm seeing a bit of a pattern here.
Just a wee bit. We are starting to see our early leaders emerge. Now there's about a 10-point difference between 1st and 6th place, so still a lot of movement to be had. But once we sort of get out of the top 5, it's their teams start to fall behind a bit. But that can change with a quick win, a solid slay out if you play your cards right. Citadel moving up on the board just a bit with their finish, and unfortunately Unreal Nightmare close to last, unfortunately. But a solid effort through and through. I think they're just having an off day. You hate to see it happen for the CCE UCX series here, but I'm hopeful that they can bounce back. Either way, an incredible job from Oath. Just through and through to rat that out, to play the low ground and not only grab that 3-piece, but the finish as well.
Right now, we are seeing, as you did mention, 10 points separating 1st and 6th place. But Oath, who up to the top. It looks like there was a very brief intermission. That was very small. But yeah, Oath have managed to pull themselves up into the 3rd spot. It's looking good. It's looking good. I reckon that I'm going now, after we've had 3 games, I'm going to say this is going to be finishing game 8. That's what I'm feeling. I think we've got quite a lot of teams already into that 30-point mark. I think that maybe next game or maybe game 5 might be where we're going to get our first teams pushing their way into match point. So I think it's going to be game 8. I don't know about yourself.
We'll just have to wait and see what happens at the end of the day. As you know, I'm just hopeful we keep getting these competitive and honestly more intense series than I'm used to seeing, at least here in the Ascendance Series. That the first day, everyone was sort of playing a bit passively, waiting for that final zone before collapsing. I don't know, something about the vibe just feels like it's just on. It's hitting. Everybody's getting some solid clips, getting some solid moments, and it feels like an Apex kind of Saturday. I don't know about you, Ben, but the vibes seem immaculate thus far this evening, and I'm hoping they continue as we're already into coming up on map number 4. I believe we're sticking with Broken Moon for a little bit, and just a really, really fun night thus far. I don't know. I'm just in a good mood, I think. I just got some solid vibes. I'm well rested, well fed, looking good, feeling good. I got the best gaming chair in the business that I get to sit on. I'm rocking some top tier drip. I got my shades. I got my boots. I got my hat. I'm bringing country back, and I'm bringing this casting back to the tippy top, Ben. I don't know if you can tell by my vibe, but I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs. I'm feeling it.
You're feeling it. You know what? I'm going to need that energy, especially if I'm predicting a game 8, game 9.
Your way.
I'm loving it. I'm taking it across the pond. Send it my way, across the Atlantic. That's what I need.
The Revolutionary War is over. We are allies once again.
Oh, well, we are going to be going in to Broken Moon once again. Okay, so we've had that first one. It's pulled the Terraformer, Hazmat, slightly central location. Are there any Broken Moon spots in particular that you would like to go see it pull over to?
I mean, we did get a bit of Terraformer. I do want to see a little bit on possibly Bionomics would be fun, but it's tucked away in the corner, so you don't typically see that. Maybe Stasis, the Promenade would be fun. You know, I'm not entirely certain, but I'm hopeful that it finishes not out in the open for once. We need some cover for these teams. I wanted to see it get to that absolutely final tiny circle, maybe, as it comes down to a 1v1 teams just trying to stay alive for a little bit longer. But yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for Bionomics. It is my final pick. Final answer, Ben. Final answer. Bionomics.
Final answers. I am excited to see which legend was banned. Obviously, we had Alter, we had Ash in our first couple of games. I actually don't know who we have got for this other one. I probably should have asked. Hopefully, production can give us the heads up in the ears about which legend is banned.
They will.
I'm sure they will. They're absolutely incredible people. As the ring map is up, we are obviously not going to be getting this ring pool just yet. But you mentioned you might like a little bit of Bionomics. I do like a Bionomics endgame. Also quite like a little bit of a Foundry endgame. You get again. I'm just thinking about areas which have got a bit of height difference. It can potentially be quite fun, but
so close.
But one
so
that
close.
Definitely will be a bit interesting is going to be where this is going to be pulling, and that is going to be going down
Atmos
towards
station.
the Atmos station. It's going to be fun. There is certainly some height in the Atmos station area, and it can be an exciting one for sure.
Yeah, right next door to Bionomics, so you never know. Maybe we'll get a little some players rotating in through there, so we'll probably see it as players begin to slowly rotate. I'm seeing Eternal Focus and Furia pretty close. Rose gonna run into Villainous pretty soon, and Kimchi and company gonna run into Pixel Lumina. So a lot of early gunfights, I have a feeling, might just come in, as well as up towards Dry Gulch. We got Oath, Empire, and Past Bliss. So I'm expecting some early gunfights here.
Overtake currently making their way here through the quarantine zone. Obviously, they've had a good start to this tournament so far. Currently sitting in our #1 spot. And they're going to be feeling themselves, I think. They're going to be thinking, you know what? We might be able to get ourselves on with a good game here to that match point threshold. They're going to only be needing around about 14 points, I believe. So for them, this is going to be an important one for sure. As we're seeing Sparrow. Oh my gosh, the lineup was beautiful there. This, you know what? Just for that alone, that's why we've invited Villainous on for this game day. It was
scans.
just top tier. This is what I love, actually, to be fair, about when you bring in a new legend into the game. You're able to have a little bit of creativity to it, and that's exactly what you're saying there. The scan coming out from a distance, the lineup was perfect.
Absolutely perfect, and I believe Pixel Lumina is right on top of Kimchi and Co. They're gonna be a little dangerous, but already rotating into that zone. You got Aspire and Leave No Witness really basically on top of one another. Puppy Love taking down Spurtsy as we get things started off with a bit of a bang, and Past Bliss goes down. Unfortunate. Fairly early, and we're already at 19 squads. Rotating around and through. You got to be careful on your rotations. As Past Bliss, unfortunately, going to get left in the past on this one. Hopefully they can get back to the future and get into the matchup for the next game. But right now we got to just focus on the here and now, Ben, as teams begin rotating in. This Atmos station is about to be a little chaotic.
It most certainly is, and Aspire have very quickly made their way down, and they're calling the very top of this location their home. It's a lovely spot to be. You get some nice height as Kurev on that Wraith is going to be able to move up aggressively and try and find a spot, but it's Mkoi that they've run into, taken so much damage, and Kurev goes down. Aspire down to just 2.
Tough break for Aspire. Blue Star Koi just has their positioning locked in. I think they're going to be hanging out here for at least a little while longer, waiting for everybody to rotate in. They get their positioning. Luckily, Fusion able to get their res off. You keep your Newcastle up, who is so critical in these early gunfights, providing cover and reses if necessary. As Nightblood currently in a gunfight. You already have Viorzy dropped, quickly going for the res now. Vibes trying to keep the vibes high. Rose pushing in though. Nice crack, but can't get the finish. AWOP, got to be careful here. Rotating up. Rose with the push. Gets the knock. Rose looking for the finish.
And the Wrecking Ball also managing to take down Legatron of Nightblood Gaming. That's Laser on the Mad Maggie, a legend who I thoroughly enjoy watching. Obviously, there isn't really a shotgun meta at the moment. People are much preferring those poke weapons, such as the 3030 and the Scout, and then obviously a lovely R99 to follow it up. So maybe when the shotgun meta comes back into play, we will see Mad Maggie come in. But Rose getting taken out. Noct is pushing up aggressively, swings around that corner, dive nasty, getting taken out, and Rose down to just one player.
Got to be careful here. They're tracking him down, looking for that final Rose. I believe that is AWOP, who's still alive. But Furia in a great spot here. 18 squads remaining. Shots coming in as Movie Star Koi trying to find something. Blinkers has got to get out of there. Gets cracked, but is able to stay up. Jelly able to drop the Fuse ult in solid positioning as Jelly takes down Blaze. So they're looking for the finish, but unfortunately don't think they're going to be able to find it here. Let's see Unreal Nightmare starting to get some drops, so hopefully they can wake up a little bit and grab some positioning on the leaderboard as we continue here. Villainous able to pick up Aspire. Kill feed not lighting up as necessarily as bright as we were expecting, or at least that I was expecting this early, but still you're seeing a couple of knocks, couple of drops. No full team wipes, or not too many just yet anyways.
As we are going to be seeing the solo of a Wope for Rose, taking down Pain from Aspire. Obviously Aspire, the team that have located themselves right here in this location on the height. And they're going to be getting taken down. Not just by anybody, but by the solo from Rose.
Yeah, a really, really great job as Rose continues to be a bit of a thorn. Unfortunately, Villainous trying to track down the Rose. And I think they will. Villainous eating some shots, but they have the numbers game. Here comes the shots, and Rose goes down. But a great job. Did some solid damage to a majority of the team. But again, this is all about the numbers game. Aspire dropped now to a single player. Cruel Buckle needs to heal up for overtake if they want to maintain their positioning in the top of the leaderboard here for this Ascendance Series thus far. As we continue to rotate in, Fusion looking for some angles. But this final zone's only going to get more and more chaotic as teams begin their final rotations.
I mean, one thing that will help with hopefully trying to make it a little less chaotic is the fact that our third legend band, if you already hadn't guessed, was Ballistic. We aren't going to be getting Ballistic up in this game because he is gone and out of this competition. And a few people that also are looking in a little bit worse for wear is going to be Forge Wolves Gaming up in a fight against Eternal Focus. I know that Forge Wolves are currently in the game lobby chat right now, so hopefully for them they're going to be able to rescue the pack. And the Wolves will be back to full force hopefully soon as Furia, some lovely shots there coming out of Noct.
Really great shots. The 30-30, like I said, when it hits hard. But if you're in a close gunfight and you just, and I mean close quarters, and you just start whiffing shots, you can't necessarily hit that fan hammer. We've seen it time and time again where it can cost you the gunfight and potentially your game. Now just out in the open, taking pop shots. Cruel Buckle unable to hit as Oath starting to fight Eternal Focus. Great shots with the bow check. And Oath getting up close and personal. Fuse just being a nightmare. Tossing in nades, knuckle dusters, anything and everything you can throw in there, it's being tossed.
What you just saw as well, nades were trying to be thrown in. But what's happening is that the Newcastle ult is just absolutely taking away the ability. Obviously, just like what a Watson pylon will do, it's exactly what the Newcastle wall will do as well, where it just is used to suck away all of those nades and the throwables as Oath have lost down on AO. They're going to be able to rotate back, and for now are going to be surviving.
Yeah, unfortunately, losing your fuse player, you just lose so much pressure potential with those knuckle clusters, knuckle dusters, the knuckle throwers, whatever you want to call them. They can just keep a team pressure. That constant damage can be so annoying, and it just spends so much of your heals, and that can really start to affect you late game when you're trying to find those pokes and those pushes just right. As Leave No Witness get taken out, Furia with some shots on Fusion, as MCoy taking down Berserk, getting some shots on them. Mamba goes down. 16 squads remaining. No one eliminated yet after Leave No Witness, but a lot of players being dropped, Ben.
They most certainly are. Citadel Gaming currently locating themselves on the very edge of the ring. As you can see, they have got the ring info, though. As you can see from the little green circle on their minimap. So they know where they've got to go, but they've got a real tough one to go through. As Villainous have now come on to the very height. Fusion, meanwhile, are at the bottom, and they are down to just a solo.
Never fun when you are the solo player. We've seen some incredible solo plays already. I mean, Oath with an incredible 1v3, really helping Oath with that final finish in Game 2, if I'm not mistaken. Or excuse me, Game 3, as Citadel trying to play their positioning. We're getting close to that top 15. More players being dropped, but no squads going down. Furia dropping a player, or getting a player dropped. Nightblood as well, losing vibes. And it's getting close. It's not an ideal situation for a lot of these teams as they start fighting 2v3s or 1v3s instead of the proper 3v3s, as Nightblood's just down to Legatron, who is legging it the heck out of there, trying to just stay up, and now playing on the Excavator. Trying to wait, trying to get that res, but unfortunately it can't crawl fast enough. Legatron getting the Phoenix kit off, so he's going to try to re-engage here. Shots coming in, fighting on the tree, bobbing, weaving, cracking, coming in. The G7 Scout up close, whiffing the shots, unfortunately. Legatron taking him down. Does get the banner and the bit of a shield swap, so Legatron once again trying to stay alive. Oh my goodness, what a play from Legatron here to stay up and stay alive.
I mean, Movie Star Koi, who I don't know necessarily if they realize this yet, the ring has pulled directly to them. But right now, they are trying to get a little bit aggressive and just pull their way out. Blinkser is just extending a little bit, seeing if he can maybe pick up one or two. But for now, Movie Star Koi are in probably the best position to take this away, just because of the way that ring falls. As Nightblood are managing to get a res. Legatron bringing back Velocity to his feet.
From the brink, Legatron was cracked, had both players down, probably a little nervous, a little too scared, but Vlorzy has the heals, has plenty of cells to get back up to 100% HP, 100% shield. Now you just need to grab your banner. Oath here getting healed up, trying to pop some shots as Karev gets a knock, Aspire getting a knock. Again, lots of knocks I've seen in the feed, but very few full team wipes, as after I say that, Empire goes down.
Empire having a bit of a tough day so far. They are going to be falling to Aspire as the Berserkers also go down. And Aspire, the people that took down Empire a moment ago, trying to heal it up with the Phoenix kit, manages to just about get it off, but they are looking like they are going to be in a world of pain, as it's none other than ROC and Unreal Nightmare and Villainous. There's just so many teams around here.
Lots of teams in contention, but ROC, the Rock, remains unbroken as Aspire goes down. We'll see if they can stay up and continue to play the way they've been playing. But Unreal Nightmare with the high ground. Davis waves goodbye. The dual P2020s coming in hot. ROC goes down. Oath goes down. So some of our top teams being taken out right as we get to the top 10. Unreal Nightmare coming back with a vengeance, baby. That's what I like to see.
They most certainly are, and it's Villainous who have now taken that height, which Aspire held for so long, and then just decided to drop and got taken down for it. And that was by the solo of Rose. So Aspire, who had a potential top 10 position spot, dropping down and going out is a real rough one for them, as Nightblood Gaming are down to just a solo. We obviously saw Big Vibes go down a little bit earlier, but shots like that, do they really even need a third? Because that's glorious.
Well, I think I would want a third either way, especially in a top 10 situation. When you lose dig vibes, you lose the vibe of your squad. You got to keep the vibes high. You also lose your Sparrow, so you lose out on a lot of vision and early picks as shots coming in. Unfortunately, Furia just too clean with it. Vorzy going down. So now you're just down to 1. If you're Nightblood, you got to be careful. Shots coming in from MKOI. But they're also getting picked up. This is the third partying that just is so prevalent in these final circles, where if you take shots, you have to be ready to take some too. As Villainous has the high ground here, and my, they do look the villain like Saruman in his dark tower. Shout out Lord of the Rings.
Shout out Lord of the Rings, and for a lot of these teams, it is going to be a journey that they have to go on. This ring is closing, and there is 5 teams currently outside of the zone. You can see already on the right-hand side, Empire are getting taken down. Villainous are right nearby. Fusion are nearby. Unreal Nightmare and Forge Wolves Gaming are backups with full 3. But for how long as Unreal Nightmare are taken down?
No.
The Craver on the height hits for 150. Forge Wolves Gaming are down. Villainous are shooting their shots.
Forged Wolves goes down top 6. Eugene Kraber would be proud to see how his weapon is being used right now. The crab coming out. The claws are dangerous and deadly and sharp as Empire Gaming goes down. We're in a top 5. Furia with some moves as Eternal Focus. Moto trying to get something. Trying to get a little bit better positioning. And now shots coming in. Furia has the positioning they want and that they need as we get into this top 5 finish. 13 people up. Gonna be a little bit crazy. Gonna be a little sweaty. Got a couple of solos out there, so be careful.
Right now, we have got Fusion still alive. 39 points on the board. Movistar Koi, 26 points on the board. I believe we've got Furia as well, who are also in the high 30s mark. If these teams are able to get a few of these kills and clutch up the win, there is a possibility that we're going to get our first team on to match point. But it really does depend on how many kills they pick up, because there's nobody, I believe, who are going to be right on the brink of it. It is going to need quite a few kills alongside that win.
Oh yeah, you're gonna need a whole lot as Zone will start pulling. As Eternal Focus goes down, your solo player taken out. So now we just have full squads against full squads in this final 4, 12 people up. Furia with some great positioning, but they got to be careful as they slowly rotate in. It's MKOI that has the advantage. Fusion going to be in a lot of pressure. Furia knocked, has got to be careful here, going for the heals, but MKOI gets the knock on Kimchi. MKOI with the shots. Villainous got to be careful here. MKOI starting to go to work.
Right now, it does look like MKOI, who had the best position in his zone, are going to be the ones that have got the opportunity to close this out. They've got to play this both aggressively to try and take down the squad, but not too aggressively. And that's exactly what we're seeing. They're holding their distance. They're shooting with the 30-30, with the triple take.
Oh, beautiful.
Jelly getting some shots down as Fusion are taken out. Our final 3 squads remaining are going to be Villainous, Furia, and MKOI.
Oh, it's going to be a crazy finish. Villainous is in a bit of a 2v3 situation now. Top 3 positioning for all of these teams has been a long road for all of them thus far, especially Villainous. So they want to show up and show out here from 0 to hero as Furia still holding. As we rotate into this final zone, Villainous right down below, looking for a little peek, but you have to climb so high, it's going to leave you a bit exposed on that climb. MKOI here still playing on the building, waiting for rotations as we get ready for final zone pull.
Final zone pull is going to be coming soon. Fusion.
Ooh, big crab, last
this.
shot.
And unfortunately, they're not going to go down. Fusion may be out, but Furia, the other FU team, obviously, to the other teams, to the other teams I'm talking about. Obviously.
Yes, of course. Yes,
that's
quite
what they're
right,
gonna,
quite right.
Quite right, sir. They are going to be hoping to give a big FU to the other teams, showing the power of Furia right now. But Movistar Koi, who we said had the best position in zone, are just going to be peppering. Triple takes coming out. Villainous Jersey is going to be down. Villainous down to just one player now.
Oh, this is getting a little too chaotic as zone starts pulling. You have a minute and 20 seconds to stay in zone. It's just going to slowly creep until you can't creep no more. Furia, I think, has the best cover thus far, as the other teams are going to have to rotate using shield or supply bins, cars, boxes, and everything else they can. MCoy in a bit of trouble here as shots coming in from all sides. The bow check coming out. R99s, the whole shebang. Still 3 squads up as MCoy and Furia go at it. And Villainous finally taken out. That's Furia credited with the kill. They have the most kills as the kill leader. 5 coming up. Peeking with the PK. Blinkers going nuts with the PK, but whiffs the final shot, trying to get the knock. Gets them weak, needs some support from their teammates as MCoy tries to find the finish.
The massive Newcastle wall tries to come in, but it's Movie Star Koi who clutch up the victory in our game number 4. A beautiful end game coming out from the boys and a very well played end zone to boot. MCoy, your champions even. Of game number 4. Big Rich, what do you think of that?
My goodness, what a finish. That 30-30 fan hammer right to the back of Newcastle, finishing it strong. Yeah, hang on. Yeah? No, I know the 30-30 is a monster in close quarters. You just got to hit your shots. Why are you using the DX Racer Martian XL armrest as a phone? For a promotional plug, obviously. All right, I'll talk to you later. I love you too. Bye. Sorry, I had to take that. Anyways, the 30-30 showing up and showing out in close quarters. I mean, you did most of the damage with your R99s and your PKs popping up like a reverse whack-a-mole on that wall. But just a quick little fan hammer shoot like we're in the wild, wild west. But don't call Will Smith. I ain't trying to get slapped. As Movie Star Koi finishing with 12 kills. Villainous with 11. Just a top-tier job through and through from those final teams, as we saw a lot of our top squads thus far get taken out relatively early. I mean, Oath finishing in 10th, ROC in 11th. Unreal Nightmare finally getting in a top 10 finish as well, so hopefully they can jump up a little bit on our overall leaderboard for our matches tonight. But what a match for a very solid finish from all sides.
It most definitely was, and as you were saying there, Movie Star, Furia, Villainous, collectively coming away with 33 kills. A bit of a kill sponging going on at the top of that leaderboard, which means that throughout the rest there was not really many other teams that picked up that many. Most of them sort of somewhere between the 0 to 3 range in the kills points. So it was a good one. I think that what we all deserve there is a quick little break. We're going to hit you with a commercial break, and we'll be back very shortly for game number 5 as we move over to E-District.
Don't go anywhere, chat. I'm watching you. If you leave, I'll know. Welcome, one and all, to the channel, to the stream, and to the page. As we know, my name is Big Rich X. I got my custom Unreal Nightmare jersey on. I got a DX Racer Martian XL gaming chair on my back and on my behind. This woven fabric just feels so nice. I prefer the woven fabric as opposed to the leather option. Just, you know, that's just me, but they do have multiple options available. But either way, as I was saying, my name is Big Rich X. I'm joined by Ben B in the booth. Folks, we have been here from the start of this incredible stream. We've been casting for 2 hours now. And I'm feeling energetic, feeling the vibes, I'm feeling the energy. These teams have been putting up banger after banger after banger of a matchup with Ben B and Big Rich. I don't know how many more B's I can say, but I'm having the best time. And I can't really complain. Ben, how you feeling? How
I'm feeling
over in Great Britain.
I think it's feeling good. I think that I just want to give a big shout out to the raid that came in whilst we were on the ad break there.
Yes.
Tex Calon, 46
Woo!
raiders. And I think that it's only right that we show them the leaderboard. So leaderboard will be up now.
Yes.
Overtake up to 43 points. Empire Gaming 42 points. ROC 41. Fusion 40. Movie Star Koi 39. 39. That is a lot of teams within 5 points. That's all that there is a difference between the top 6 teams. I think it was 10 points a moment ago. Now it's just down to 5. This is a tight leaderboard we've got.
Yes, very, very close race thus far. We're definitely going to see some 50-point finishes after this one, so should be on series point or fairly soon. Overtake has been playing phenomenally through and through. Empire Gaming jumps up a bit, and ROC trying to get back into that number 1 spot. Oath falling down a bit further than I expected, but that's just how competitive that last matchup was and how close it was. I mean, Fusion was ratting it out for a bit, but they're able to take that number 4 spot. So we are getting into this one, folks. It's getting down to the nitty-gritty details, but I'm here for it as we get ready for E-District now in what is sure to be an urban landscape nightmare for some of these squads. But the rotation's going to be critical yet again. I'm hopeful that we get a couple of fun finishes on this one as we go for our fly-through. Just such a colorful and brightly lit map. It really offers a bit of a unique drop in the Apex Legends map pool, if you ask me, Ben.
It most certainly does. It's I think, the best competitive map that Apex currently has. One, because it's gorgeous. I mean, look at that. Pink and blues. They are my favorite colors. I'll absolutely love to see it. But the main reason why it's incredibly good is because of the layers. It's so many of the places are basically just like a layer cake, where people can play at the top, the bottom, the middle. It's so good. And as we're now going to be approaching that match point, I think teams are not going to be wanting to necessarily get as aggressive, particularly those teams that are pushing for those placement points, because they're going to need to get their way up. So this is one of the best maps. We're going to see here where people are going to be dropping right now. You can see, obviously, Oath up towards the top. We are seeing MCoy, who obviously won the last game, over on the left-hand side, over at Blossom Drive, one of my favorite POIs. ROC just nearby them in the Neon Square. As we move a little bit towards the south, we're going to be seeing Furia all the way down at Old Town. A lovely spread out there, but there are so many teams right now who have got the opportunity to pull themselves onto match point. Overtake, obviously, with 43 points, just 7 points needed, followed closely by Empire with 8 points needed. The ring is now going to be coming into effect, and it does look like we are going to be pulling up towards the City Hall area. A ring that can get a little bit crazy due to the fact you've got that bridge just north of City Hall, and with teams battling out not only on the bridge but underneath it and firing down shots, we're certainly going to see some good fights, and you're going to be very happy to hear this. Unreal Nightmare are the team that land at City Hall. Just above them, though, is going to be Citadel with Berserkers to the west over at Boardwalk, and finally Empire Gaming, who have located themselves in a bit of a sort of no-name spot, just on the east-hand side of City Hall. But For Umpire, they only need to get 8 points. So they're going to have a quick rotation for themselves up and trying to get themselves a good spot in zone to get those points.
Yeah, you need those points. That is the name of the game. Pixel Lumina taking some pop shots on some flyers, but unfortunately no hitting right there. As we begin our rotations, yes, Unreal Nightmare got the spot, but I think the problem with already being in zone, and they're starting to have a bit of a fight with Umpire, so they got to be careful on these early fights. The problem with it is you're just limited in your loot pool, so you may not necessarily have as many heals, as many throwables, or the right weapons you want. So hopefully they can find the gunny they want. They get the exact building they want near City Hall or in City Hall, and they can just lock in. I'm going to keep hyping Unreal Nightmare up. They've had a bit of a rough start to the day, but they warmed up a significant bit in our previous match. So I'm hopeful they can keep that streak going and go ever higher as Oath begins rotating on through, getting into zone. These teams just getting set up for the inevitable clash that they will find themselves on as we continue here. I believe we are on match number 6. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ben.
Match number 5, I believe it is. So yeah, first game onto the EFD, Asia District. By the way, we did just see Forge Wolves Gaming on the screen just a moment ago. We have got them in the Twitch chat, and you're gonna love this. They said that they love Bloodhound.
My friends.
Your friends.
Yes. Tell everyone to pick Bloodhound. Everybody run Bloodhound. Not everyone, but some people. I feel like Bloodhound is underutilized, underrated as Mkoi grabs the knock. Cersei going down. That is a huge pick for Mkoi on Berserk Squad early. Now can they get the finish? Will be the decider. Berserkers have been playing phenomenally, have been getting a lot of elims. May not be where they want to be on the leaderboard, but have been playing phenomenally either way.
As we are going to be just giving you the update that it was Sparrow that was banned in this game. I believe.
Makes sense.
So Sparrow gone. The slightly more aggressive different characters that we've seen. Yeah, Legends. I was forgetting the name. You may or not be able to tell.
Apex Legends.
It's Apex Legends. Yeah, I should have really been able to get that. It was on the tip of my tongue.
It's all good. I know you may be English, but I went to school for it as well. As we get everything squared away, as we get a view on Empire, we watch our legends go to work.
Well, Empire putting themselves pretty much dead center of the zone right now. They're going to be hoping that the ring pulls fairly for them, as they are obviously one of those teams closing in on our match point eligibility, as Pluto Reality is going to be getting shot at. Hopefully for them, they're going to be able to survive. As we go back over to that team currently sat in second spot on the day, they're going to be pretty happy with their performance after, again, one of those teams that didn't necessarily stand out in week number 1. They're going to be very happy with the way that they've started this second week off.
Absolutely, would have to agree with you there, brother, as we continue into the matchup. We have lost a squad already. It's down to 19 as players continue to look for these shots. Aspires, Ghostillas gets cracked, but has got to be careful. Shots coming in from Kurev with the bow check. Unfortunately not getting anything. Huge zip line coming up from Aspire as they go up to the Lotus, and one of the most luxurious hotels I've ever seen, and I wish I could book myself a 5-night stay. You know I'm staying on the weekend as well. Maybe take a trip to the pool. They got to have some clubs here in E District, so if anybody has any recommendations for your boy while I'm in town, you let me know, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens, as looks like Past Bliss going in for a quick survey beacon scan. It is so critical having that crypto drone. You can utilize it for so many more things than I even previously knew. Go for beacons, get some cards, just scan and get knowledge without having to take too big of a risk, Ben.
Most definitely. Fusion right now have obviously got themselves within the zone. Whether they're going to be in the next zone, however, is going to be the question, as I do believe it is going to pull more towards the north of what this current zone is going to be. So those teams that are going to be residing within it are going to include Rose, Citadel Gaming, Villainous, Unreal Nightmare as well are also going to be getting themselves a spot in the next zone. So a happy day for them, as we are going to be seeing ROC with a little Pathfinder evac tower play, trying to find themselves a spot into what is already a pretty crowded location, but managing to land for now.
Yeah, able to land, get some better positioning, and right back on the drone, wanting to get some better angles and more info, and to get some scans, and just keeping aware of where your opponents are at is so critical in Apex, and just having that awareness. All right, we had a couple of shots northwest. There's people to the east as well. And making those callouts and those rotational adjustments can make or break the difference for a squad. As Pixel Lumina eating some damage, but able to stay up. They should be able to heal here on the bridge. But again, we got a couple of players, including Pixel, on the outside. So when they start rotating, they come in through those big entryways on these walls. They are going to be exposed, and that's one of my biggest angers with an E District map is on those rotations. Players get stuck in these choke points, and it's a very, very dangerous rotation if you don't rotate soon enough.
You can hear a hell of a lot of ping that's going out. I'm thinking of you. I was like, is that what you're thinking about as well? Because that was a lot of pings that we were hearing as we're seeing this nice little drone cam coming out. Aspire swinging their way in. Kurev getting the pick on to leave no witnesses.
Huge pick as well. With that Newcastle down, you lose that sort of rezzing advantage. Getting that shield up and being able to just move while rezzing is huge. Unreal Nightmare here, just again playing their positioning here. Empire and Aspire getting some knocks, leaving no witnesses. Might be going down here soon as Villainous plays on the parking garage. Got to be careful of some of those bow check picks. And there's leave no witnesses. Zell going down. Kurev able to stay up for Aspire, and hopefully can get back to full HP here. Seeing a lot of fun Pathfinder plays as well. A couple of Mad Maggie picks being thrown in to the loop as well. So, those Qs able to burst through cover and cause just some damage can really be impactful, especially with so many Newcastles on the map still.
I mean, not just Newcastles on the map. I mean, as we did mention, E-Districts is one of those maps that has got so many buildings and so many playable spaces. Mad Maggie can become really devastating within this space, and that's what we're seeing.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe some of those teams that want to get a little bit more aggressive on it, want to try and push and break through, where a Fuse obviously is limited by the fact that he needs to pop it into an open spot. Mad Maggie doesn't worry about that. She just breaks through. She rips straight through with that. And what we're seeing also is that Sorcerer is ripped straight through a Mirage decoy. That is surely going to be, yes it is, Pixel Lumina, the Twerkaholics. Of course they're rocking the Mirage.
I mean, he brings some positive vibes and good energy. I heard he has a pretty delicious honey pork chop recipe from his mama, so you get a Mirage in there, you start having a blast, having a good time and a good party. As Oath finally rotating into zone, they are in a bit of a dangerous spot. Nightblood going to have to go a long way. Pixel Lumina going to have to run past Rock. I mean, this is a very close, contested zone, more so than I'd say in a while. We still have 19 squads left, so we're going back to sort of that slower pace we saw in Week 1. But as soon as this final zone really starts pulling, it's going to get loud in the lobby, Ben.
It's surely going to get loud. I mean, this is why I love E-District. 19 squads remaining. Only 5 players are currently down. It's going to go crazy, and we're also going to be having a pool that's just going to continue to go north. Unreal Nightmare, currently dead center. They landed in this POI, and they've been gifted a POI for an end zone for them. As RSC trying to get aggressive, trying to swing around this corner. No turbocharger currently on it, but no turbocharger is needed. The Sorcerer is going absolutely crazy as he backs on, picks up another lead. No witnesses. Down in 18th position. Pixel Lumina shortly follow to the hands of ROC.
Yeah, and we saw, I believe, Past Bliss get taken out on that initial push as well. As ROC gets dropped a player, Empire drops a player, Spurtsy trying to stay up as Sorcerer goes down and fully picked. And here comes the Res Empire coming in to save their boy Vanny, and a great job. Such a critical move from a Newcastle. You get those quick res, you get protection, and Spurtsy, ooh, almost going down with 10 HP in a dream, somehow staying alive, but Zone's coming. You're in trouble. Deeds trying to stay alive, 10 HP as well. He doesn't have the banners, but he's able to stay up for ROC. Getting pressed though, trying to get the knock, and somehow does. Oh my goodness, Vanny, how did you not get him? Rock gets eliminated, Aspire gets eliminated either way, but great job from Deeds there.
Great job from Deeds, but I don't think it's going to be enough to push them out, as they do go out on what looks like to be around about 44 points. RAC falling short, but Empire have managed to pick up some kills onto the RAC boys, plus getting that top 15 placement point is going to be looking good for the Empire roster, as Fusion right now under duress. January has managed to pull his way out using the Wraith Portal and is surviving for now. 14 squads still remaining, and it's a Wope that's taking down Vanny.
And the few Void players we have left remaining, Wraith is going to be a lot more prevalent of a pick. When you can just sort of disappear or portal away, it can save your game, or at least save you for positioning. As MCoy gets some shots on Empire, great knock by Jelly. Shots coming in from Fun, trying to get a finish, but unfortunately those boxes providing just a little too much cover, but dealing with multiple shots, multiple perspectives, trying to get it. Here they come, and it's just a quick, easy knock. MCoy takes down Empire with ease.
I mean, that is devastating for Empire right there. 45 points they have ended on. They are 5 points short. Just like ROC, who fell with 44, they are not going to be making it on to match point. One team that might is going to be Oath, who are currently sitting on around about, let's have a quick look here, 43 points. They're going to be hoping they're going to get their way on to it very soon. There are still so many teams. I'm looking at the map right now, and this is just why I love E-District.
Yeah, it is gonna get a little chaotic, more so than I can even predict as we get ready for this round 4 closing. It's gonna be a very, very tight-knit circle. We do have a Eugene Kraber in play. Perfectly timed portal. Cruel Buckle coming in. I mean, in a close quarters combat situation, I don't know if I want a Kraber, so hopefully you got something else to play with. As Unreal Nightmare, they again pretty much have dead center zone on this round 5 pull. They're going to be a bit out of ways, but all teams are going to have to rotate past Unreal Nightmare, except for Rose and Furia, who are still rotating behind them. But Unreal Nightmare in a very precarious situation as Nightblood goes down. Cruel Buckle gets a solid knock. Fusion goes down. We're in a top 10.
Movie Star Koi 1 point right now. They just need to pick up 1 kill or just 2 more placement positions. 9 squads remaining, 8 squads remaining. I believe that they are just, Movie Star Koi need just 1 more in order to get the points on the board as they do take down a Wope. If they can get this finish right now, we are going to be seeing our first squad on to match point, because Fusion, they fell. They went out. The kills, trying to take them down, trying to finish it off, and Movie Star Koya, your first team onto match point eligibility.
Oh, and Oath gets taken out by Forged Wolf. Unfortunate there. They do finish top 10. A very tough finish either way. Unreal Nightmare still in this one. They're looking for that elusive win. We didn't see him get it last week, but hopefully they can get it this time around. Forged Wolves able to stay up. Red shields for Zoa, and now just playing on the cover, or excuse me, knife in the enemy cover, and just prepping for a rotation. Citadel up top. Oh man, it is getting all sorts of chaotic. I can't keep heads or tails of it, but I'll do my best as the Rose plays on the parking garage. They're just outside zone, but here comes MCoy to cause all sorts of problems for him.
MCoy, already having made themselves now onto match point, are going to go, you know what, we can pick up some points now, we can get aggressive. And what you're seeing is the fun FPS Maggie drills coming out, ticking away. The swing comes out and the rose has fallen. That's more points right now. 6 to the hands of Fun alone. And MKOI are looking absolutely devastating.
Truly devastating. I mean, when you're slaying out and the kill eater with 6, you're doing something right. Empire here in trouble as Sacred gets cracked, almost gets knocked, and does. The FPS R99 and the Mad Maggie Q causing all sorts of problems, unfortunately, for Empire. You get the quick res. MKOI able to get all 3 up. But, oh man, it is coming down to the wire here. As Citadel goes down. Unreal Nightmare still in this one. Furia right on top of them as they hold in the corner. They have all the defensive measures they need. They got the Watson, they got the Newcastle, and if they need to GTFO, they got the Wraith.
They most certainly do, as Forge Rules Gaming are also a full 3-stack, but it's Furia who have got such a good spot in the zone right now. One of the few sort of building areas that they're going to be able to survive from. And right now, Furia are in a great spot to push themselves on to match point. Obviously, they had a decent showing in the last game, coming 2nd place, but currently sat in 6th position on 42 points. 8 points are needed. If they can get the win, that will secure it.
It's going to be close. It's going to be close indeed. But MKOI here has so much poke potential here. You can send in the Crypto Drone. You can hit the Mad Maggie Q. You can get the Knuckle Clusters in there. Unreal Nightmare just getting obliterated. They do have Watson's ult down, so they will be able to actually stop those Knuckle Clusters. But again, Movie Star Koi just going to keep peppering as much as they can on Unreal Nightmare as this final zone begins closing. It is going to be 2 minutes of chaos as MKOI knocks down Empire. Blinker's going to work as Unreal Nightmare trying to stay up down below.
Empire down to just the solo. It's not looking good for the squad, but it is looking good for Furia, who are doing so good to just hold off all the other teams.
Beautiful.
Taking down Blinkster, Jelly, and FUD FPS are the last few remaining as Blinkster is finished by Nox, who's taking himself back up onto the height with the Pathfinder grapple. 5 squads remaining. The Furia are looking strong and in a position to push themselves onto match point. The shots coming out from Fun and Jet onto Fun as Unreal Nightmare right now are just around the other side of this wall from MKOI.
Oh boy, it's just like shooting fish in a barrel. Empire Gaming goes down. Furia taking them out. And now 4 squads down. 4 squads remaining, excuse me. Unreal Nightmare still hanging down below. They've popped everything. They have all their shields. You got to be careful with some throwables and shots from above. Unreal Nightmare in a bit of a tough predicament as the nades come in. Davis has got to get his squad out of there, but does not have a portal to take him out. As Furia takes down Wallace. Rails, excuse me. Madness taking down Blossom. Unreal Nightmare in trouble as the shots keep coming and the shots keep coming.
Furia are going absolutely nuclear from this top part. I believe this is going to push themselves onto match point as Forge Wolves Gaming do full madness. Now taking down more. Unreal Nightmare going down, and it's Furia who roar into the win. An incredible showing from the boys, and we have got our first 2 squads onto match point. Congratulations, Movie Star Koi, and your champions of game number 5, Furia.
And Keon dancing, push-ups, burpees, worming, Newcastle default dancing on him. And what an incredible finish through and through from those squads, folks. I mean, the positioning was on top for Furia. They had the high ground through and through. Unreal Nightmare went with sort of a bunker strat, but once you lost that Watson ult, you were just getting naded and pressured out, and you just got absolutely obliterated down below. Still with a top 5 finish, though, but Unreal Nightmare still not able to find that elusive win that they are wanting. 15 kills each for Furia and Movie Star Koi with a number 2 and number 1 finish respectively, or vice versa, that Furia with the number 1, Movie Star Koi with the number 2, but 15 kills apiece. That's why they were able to jump up so many spots and secure their positioning and their match points.
Yeah, a movie star finish there was not quite on the cards for MCOY. But yeah, second place with 15 kills is an absolute beautiful end game and performance. I mean, we mentioned the Maggie drill getting oppressive in these E-District zones. The way that they're able to just go straight through walls, straight through cars, straight through Newcastle walls, any type of cover you are not safe behind, particularly in the hands of Fun FPS, who was devastated. I think what we saw when they were only on about 10 there. Look at that is just twist from that last game there. 27 points, 24 to the top two. Forge Wolves Gaming, who ended up coming fourth in the game itself, but with 8 kills to their name, they're going to be very happy with that performance. Forge Wolves there, 13 points. Unreal Nightmare just shy behind them with Aspire rounding out the top 5.
Yeah.
So a strong performance in that game there. Whew. I'm excited here. I said game 8. We've got 2 very strong teams already reaching match point, but there are so many teams who are so close behind them. I mean, we got the likes, obviously, of Overtake, of Fusion, our week 1 winners, who are just shy of that 50 mark. But Crypto is going to be the next legend banned. An interesting one where we've had Sparrow banned, followed straight up by Crypto. So after some pretty aggressive legends get banned in the Recon legends getting their turn, and the overall leaderboards have come in. Look how I mean, obviously we spoke about the top 2 already, but look how close those teams just behind are. There is 1 point separating 3rd through 6th. Fusion only 9 points off themselves in 7th, and those teams in the following pack with the likes of Aspire, Berserkers, they're only 1 game off. And it could well, we might well have all of those teams, I'd say, through 7th place onto match point by the end of this game, depending on what happens.
And one thing I just noticed and want to point out, Fusion, while only having 14 kills, it's their positioning and their placement that has secured them this spot. Because, you know, I see a couple of these squads dropping 14 or more, but don't nearly have as good positioning as Fusion. So it's really all about location. I hate to sound like a real estate agent, but that's just the way this game works, especially in the late game. When you have 19 squads left on a Circle 3 closing, transitioning into a Circle 4, it gets really, really chaotic really, really quick. Now, Ben, I know you and Mark tried to explain this to me last time, but for any newcomers in the chat to the Apex scene, and myself included, sort of as a codcaster coming into the Apex world and the Battle Royale world of casting, what do these teams have to do to secure that win? Now that they've hit that 50-point threshold, what is the determining factor in who takes that #1 spot here in week 2?
I mean, so this is one thing that I just love about Apex Legends, and that is the match point format. So in order to, first of all, hit match point, you have to get to 50 points. As we did just see, Furia, they hit 50 points. And then the determining factor after that is you have to win a match. But if you hit 50 and in that game win, you don't win it. You've just seen that there. Furia currently now residing on about 59 points, I believe it was.
Yes,
they won that
59.
last game, but they don't win the tournament because they have to win a match now. Now, so it doesn't matter if you've won before, because you've now got to do it again.
Understood.
It's exciting. It gets intense. It means that sometimes a little bit of griefing will happen because teams know Fury is landing just nearby. Maybe we can go push over to them. It gets interesting, and I cannot wait to see how this plays out.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for explaining it to both myself yet again and to all the newcomers in chat. I know if you're probably watching, you're a fan of the Apex Legends Pro scene, so you probably know a bit more than me, but you don't have that same kind of personality that I bring to the booth, so don't go judging too harshly, folks. As we get everything set and squared away, 2 teams with that potential to take home the win here in week 2, but we already had a prediction from you, Ben, I believe, a game 8 to determine who will win it all. But at the end of the day, it can happen anytime from here on out if Furia or Overtake have anything to say about it. And no one engaging just yet. I'm seeing Leave No Witness and Furia are fairly close to one another, so we might see early gunfights there. Both Empire squads fairly close to one another as well. But everyone fairly evenly spread. No one making initial pushes or movements to center zone just yet.
As hopefully we'll get be able to get the ring up in a little bit, but it is, as you can see from where Empire are going to be flying and the little mini map in the top left, it is a pretty central ring that we are going to be having right now, and one that a lot of these teams are going to potentially struggle to find positioning on. Obviously, we are in E District where there is going to be places they can find, but currently a team that's struggling is going to be Fusion, Kimchi, and Down. Going down to Empire. This is a team that's only 9 points away from match point. Losing 2 players is rough for them. And ROC as well, losing out Sorcerer.
Yeah, unfortunate there. Villainous taking down Eternal Focus, or at least getting a knock on Demon. Unreal Nightmare knocking Vax on ROC. So here comes the push. Unreal Nightmare trying to get the finish. Got to be careful here. Playing the shields. Huntsman almost going down. Cannot escape. Gets knocked and dropped. And now Unreal Nightmare on the run, trying to escape.
I mean, Unreal Nightmare, they got the initial knock onto Sorcerer, but because Source got pulled back up, it was actually his devotion that ended up taking down Huntsman. And it shows that a team like ROC is not one that you can take lightly, even if you've managed to get an early knock.
Yeah,
Leave no witnesses right now.
Yeah, early knocks or not, Leave No Witness able to take down Racer on Forged Wolves, so you get that kill. It can help in the later game in terms of points, but right now, early going, if you can't get a team wipe, it's just, you're just picking away until you can, and really it's going to start coming down to positioning. As you know, I think players and teams, they don't necessarily have their first picks, they don't have the legends that they are, you know, mains with per se, so they're not playing as aggressive. Shots coming in. Unreal Nightmare still contesting and still fighting this one as Huntsman was able to get back up, drops the thermite, going down and below into the sewers, back up, ring around the rosy, pocket full of posy, ashes, it's Vaxlon to go down as Unreal Nightmare trying to get back in this one, solid portal, trying to get back through it. Oh, dangerous plays from Davis Wave.
Unreal Nightmare holding their own right now. And there's quite a few teams who are just in here trying to find a spot. ROC, as we did see, did get taken down to just 1 player remaining. And that is going to be tough for the team who are so close to match point. Still, 20 squads remaining. OT, the Overtake are going to be getting knocks now onto Unreal Nightmare. This is great for Overtake, a team that are just 5 points off before this game of match point.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Two
Sorry,
kills
go
to the
ahead.
name. I was going to say, yeah,
No!
2 kills as Unreal Nightmare are going to go down. There's at least 2 kills to the hands of Overtake. Up to 47 points for now. Movie Star Koi are taking them down, and they potentially might stop Overtake getting to match points at this rate.
Unreal Night. Overtake goes down, folks. Unfortunate there. As Overtake is eliminated, Oath eliminated as well, so several of the top teams already taken out. As Furia starts going to work, they're still up, still potential for them to finish, and just put this one away. 17 squads left. Eternal Focus starting to rotate on through. You got Moto was taken at basically 1 HP in a dream as Aspire has a player down. They're trying to go for reses now. It's, again, these rotations on E District put people in such dangerous choke points, and we're seeing a lot of action earlier than expected.
I mean, Oath there going down with 44 points. Overtake going down with 48 points. Absolutely devastating for the Double O team. We're just going to hope that they'll be able to James Bond it in our game number 7, if it even goes that far.
Time will tell indeed. As Citadel gets the knock on Aspire. Aspire here with just 1 player up. The chase inbound as Citadel going in for the kill. Goes still as taken out. As Racer is going to get dropped to storm damage. they got to be careful on these rotations. Forged Wolves also out of zone. Villainous has Buxed outside of zone. I mean, these rotations, and especially with E District where there's limited rotational opportunities, especially with these giant walls that crisscross the map, it can prove to be, dare I say, a nightmare for squads trying to rotate in, especially with zone pushing.
Villainous. Another team that's busted out the Mad Maggie. So a few more teams looking like they're going to be going with Maggie as Forge Wolves. They've pulled out a Valkyrie. I know that you've obviously been shouting about your Bloodhound love. Valkyrie is my girl. I am very happy to see the folks at Forge Wolf Gaming. They are my new favorite roster for the evening. Purely because they've picked up the Valkyrie. Citadel, though, in the meantime, taking down Eternal Focus. Moto eliminated for now, but not out. Eternal Focus obviously currently sitting in 14th position, and Pluto Reality is going to be taking them down to just one player now.
And it's always unfortunate when you have that single player. You have so much pressure on your back as that last player. You got to try and build your team's cards, possibly get them rezzed, or just rotate and stay alive. I mean, especially for some of these squads, it's just so annoying for him. Fusion, ROC, Leave No Witness, Aspire, all have just a single player, as well as Berserkers and Eternal Focus. So several solo players, as I say that, Berserkers goes down, Fusion taking him down with no remorse. But several teams with just a single player on the board, and the pressure is only going to get higher as the zones get smaller.
They are indeed. I mean, we're not going to have the incredible 19 squads alive going into round 4 as we did last game. So we're already down to 15, but that does mean that everybody who is in the zone and still alive right now is going to be getting their first placement point of the match, which for some of those who are obviously on the brink of hitting that match point eligibility, they're going to be very happy about that.
Yeah, very happy indeed, and hopefully we see teams just continue to have big smiles on their faces as we continue here. PK in that care package. So we've seen PKs in final zones with used to great effect. So hopefully we see that yet again. Fusion here just hanging out just outside of zone. But they are going to run into Leave No Witness. It's going to be, I believe, a full 3v3 as January gets the knock on Ricky. Here comes the push. Is Dan just going to launch it? Yep, going to Captain America that Newcastle ult, but unfortunately with the positioning does not get that cover he probably wanted.
The slam comes out and the Devotion swinging around that corner. Leave No Witnesses, unfortunately losing their players. Down to just one remaining now for Leave No Witness, and I can see in chat that Leave No Witness have got their fans going. They said win or lose, we still support. At this moment in time, it is not looking good for the folks at Leave No Witness, as they are going to be wraith queuing around this corner. January, Q for Q right now, as he tries to potentially chase that last player down.
Trying to chase them down. Aspire here, trying to stay up. Pixel Lumina as well in a bit of trouble, and Aspire gets eliminated. Great job from Pixel Lumina here. 14 squads left. Leave No Witness gets taken out. Fusion able to win their engagement as Fusion begins rotating. They're going to run into the Eternal Focus squad, who are trying to third party this one as Citadel starts fighting Pixel Lumina. As again, zone gets smaller, more teams in closer quarters, gonna be fighting, gonna be meleeing as Citadel takes down Pixel. They're looking for one more, trying to get this full finish.
Finish they did get, but
oh no,
the res is dropping down. Citadel potentially gonna get some free kills as they're gonna be looking, not falling into their hands just yet, but they're going to be hoping they can get that finish off for the Pixel Lumina squad. Past Bliss have had a player knocked from a distance, and that is going to be from Empire Wi-Fi, taking them down. The signal must be good on those scout shots.
Yeah, the G7 scout is so annoying. I cannot tell you how many times that G7 has just absolutely ripped my shield, ripped my everything in pubs or in ranked, and it's just a nightmare. Is Fusion in a bit of trouble here, folks, as Pixelumina gets eliminated. Fusion trying to stay up. Kimchi gets fully taken out. Dan and January now just playing at the zip lines. Got to be careful here as they hold the high ground. They're still outside of zone, so they're going to have to rotate either way, but this is a critical gunfight for Eternal Focus and Fusion. Here comes the push, though. Nice knock from Fusion. 2 down. Eternal Focus in trouble.
I mean, it's a 1v1 right now. It's January up against the last remaining player from Eternal Focus. January, instead of trying to fight this in the 1v1,
I like the play.
I agree with you. Instead, going for the Wraith Q. Modo is chasing it, though, and on the fuse is going to be devastating, potentially, with those knuckle clusters. Surely, they're going to look to try and go back, though, Modo. Go get the res on your players, if you can. As Madness is getting a knock onto MKOI. Fun FPS is going down, and that is your match point teams up in a fight. The pull on the screen right now, it is going to be going straight to ROC and Villainous. 2 teams that are going to be very happy to see that, as Past Bliss is getting taken bounced by Citadel Gaming.
Oh, and Fusion is out. Eternal Focus is out. Unfortunate there. We're in a top 10 finish. Not an ideal situation for a lot of these teams, as they're going to be rotating into some teams that have very good cover, that are just peeking these windows. You can get torn asunder by a 30-30, someone crouching through a window. That head glitch is going to be nasty. Forged Wolves here on the outside. Forged Wolves, by the way, been in the chat, been hyping up their boys, been here supporting the stream. So if we have any other org owners in the chat, thank you. 1, for being here, and 2, thank you for supporting your squads. We love to see it. Madness here gets cracked. Furia, one of the teams that can potentially win it all here if they're able to stay up and stay alive, so they gotta play this one carefully. Movie Star Koi also has some potential to finish here, but again, there are 8 other squads that those teams have to worry about. So as this zone begins closing in about 15 seconds, it's gonna get loud, it's gonna get a little heavy, so be ready, chat.
As right now, a massive fight is happening. And that is going to be Furia up against ROC. And Keon has gone down. That is going to be to the PK of ROC. The POV's perfectly swapped over by the observers there as Vaxon takes down Nox. Furia with just 1 player remaining. Is this going to be the end of the dream for Furia? It's just Madness. He has got a PK, which obviously is glorious to have when you hit those shots, but when you haven't got teammates, it can be looking rather rough. Furia might well be out of this before it's even been able to get going.
And unfortunate, you fight for so long, right at the very end you get taken out. Unfortunately, you're still in this one, but only barely, as Villainous have the best positioning here. Dead center zone, have good cover, and are just playing it to their strengths. You still have, I believe, Movie Star Koi to contend with, but they are getting pressured from the Forged Wolves. Furia with Madness still up, trying to stay alive. Citadel pushing in as Koi able to take down the Wolves instead, so they win their gunfight, and Furia gets eliminated. ROC takes down Madness, and great shots from Koi as they get the knock on Pluto. 8 squads remaining, Ben, and Movie Star Koi the only team remaining to potentially win it.
Movie Star Koi making their move down, but they are not going to be in the next zone, so they're just trying to take out everybody they can who could potentially cause them an issue. At the moment, Citadel Gaming is that team that is in their sights and could be the issue for them, but Citadel under so much pressure, also from the solo of Past Bliss and Zen. We might potentially see Zen falling very soon. There they go in the chat. But Movie Star Koi, that team who can close this whole game day out right now if they can play it right.
You gotta play it right, play it good, be careful, be smart, and be wise. Citadel holding in the corner. Villainous with the zone. They are fighting for it with ROC. Nightblood Gaming just on the outside. All other teams, though, have a bit of open ground to cover if they want to get into zone. So it's going to be a dangerous push, and here comes the rotations from MKOI. Blinkers trying to get something, some positioning with that portal, and they should be able to sneak into zone. A great portal from Blinkers right there, Ben.
It most certainly was. It's managed to get them into actually a great position, and the Catalyst ult coming out now, allowing them to just move a little bit more aggressively up to get some shots down. That is going to be Blinks obviously on the Wraith, who's just giving them the opportunity to have this spot. Fun FPS now with the Newcastle wall to give themselves the cover. And Jelly throwing down shots. This is a great utilization of all of their different abilities and ults, as Blinkser is getting aggressive and is pushing in all alone. Something you can do, though, on the Wraith, as Citadel Gaming are out. We're down to our final 5 squads. There is a 1 in 5 chance that this ends right here, right now.
MKOI has great positioning, by the way, if you ask me. They're just barely on the outside, but all these other teams are going to start fighting with one another first. MKOI can just play this one passively and wait for these teams to damage one another, but we saw MKOI and Blinkers already get a couple of knocks, apply some pressure, so they got to play this one smart. Villainous has a player down, and here comes Chickles with the portal, trying to get some positioning of their own, but again, the movement may not be there, but it's just right enough as they're able to get their player back up, their third. So we're going to have a full 4 stack as Nightblood gets eliminated. Movie Star Koi getting ever closer to try and take home the W as ROC knocks down Empire. Shots coming in. ROC with the high ground looking for an angle as Vax knocks down Villainous's Chickles. It's gonna be a close one for this ROC squad. You still have Movie Star Koi to worry about as things start heating up.
ROC have made themselves get onto match point with this performance so far, but they have to basically win this match to take it away from Movie Star, because MKOI are looking so good. Sorcerer, though, on the Wraith is going to be trying to get some angles around the side as MKOI are getting yet more kills.
A great job from Movie Star Koi. They have stayed up, they have stayed alive, they've gotten knocks. They don't necessarily need the points, they just need the win. MKOI here pressuring and popping a couple of shots. This final zone starting to close. ROC starting to rotate in. Movie Star Koi getting the knock on Villainous yet again. Shots coming in from ROC. We're in a top 3 situation as Villainous gets eliminated. Can Movie Star Koi come away with the W?
I mean, this basically could be down to who Empire pushes. Empire are just a duo, and if they decide to push onto ROC, it could be just giving it to MKOI. But Empire Gaming full, it's a 3v3, not just for this game, but for the whole game day. Wall for wall right now. Movie Star Koi waltzing their way through. This is an insane ending right now.
Truly a crazy finish as the Newcastle ult is down. A great positioning here, I think, for Movie Star Koi as ROC's walls are coming down. Vax is weak. Vax is weak. ROC trying to stay up. Movie Star Koi, though, with the pressure. They get the shots. They're pushing in. R99's in hands. They need the peek. You only have 8 bullets left in your 99, though, brother. You need the knock. Chili gets one. They're pushing in the 30. 30 doesn't hit. You need the peek. There it is. Movie Star Koi with the W in a Hollywood finish, baby.
My lord, Movie Star Koi with just phenomenal gameplay to close that one out. The wall for wall, the Newcastle ult going down, taking away any nades that was thrown through that cat ult. Brilliantly done. Movie Star Koi coming out on top. After last time, they were so close to making it a match point, just couldn't quite get over the mark. This time, however, they're the first team on match point, and they close it out the game after.
Oh my goodness, what an insane finish. What a play from Movie Star Koi. The walls, the ults were timed almost perfectly, dare I say. They came down at the same time, for crying out loud. And it was just like, okay, once these walls drop, all hell's about to break loose. Pardon my French, folks, but whew! That is how you play a series. The rotations, the movement, the aggressiveness. It was all hitting for Movie Star Koi. I was saying, okay, we're going to play this a little passively. We want the win. No. They were popping up, taking shots. They got 12 kills that game. ROC right behind with 8. But Movie Star Koi sends us home a little early tonight. A solid GG's all around to all these incredible squads. And hey, from my boys over at Unreal Nightmare, you're gonna bounce back in the next one. I think you just hit a bit of a valley, and it's gonna be all right. I have a few more things to say, Ben, before we sign off after week 2. A huge shout out to GameNetics. I know you're going to show us that controller before we end tonight.
We
and
absolutely
even
will.
bigger thank you to DX Racer, whose chair I got to talk about again in just a moment, as well as OBS Bot. I am hopeful I can pick up one of their cams soon, because while I look good now, I know I'd look even better in 4K despite the massive amount of wrinkles on my forehead already. I'm only 27, folks. Leave me alone. Anyways, the DX Racer Martian XL gaming chair with airbag lumbar support. I can adjust that, by the way, so it fits and contours to my back perfectly. It has an electrical backrest. I can just lean and adjust it to whatever way I see fit. I ain't gonna slink back way too quickly. It's just going the pace that I like it. We got the woven fabric, so I can get as sweaty as I need to be without anything sticking to some weird faux pas leather that my previous gaming chair had. We lock in with the DX Racer Martian XL. A huge shout out to them to sending this to me for my casting ability so I can stay at the top of my game. I don't have to worry about how my back or my butt is feeling when I'm sitting in a DX Racer chair. I just got the Martian XL because I wanted to feel like the king that I am in a proper throne. You understand, chat? You understand what I'm talking about? If you need, if you want, or you just have to have a gaming chair, you best start with the best, and that's with DX Racer, folks. Plain and simple. Now, Ben B, before we sign off, please show us that sweet GameNetics controller. Crack it open.
I'm going to crack it open. I'm very quickly, though, just going to ask production, can we get the finalized scoreboard? Obviously, we know that MCOY went away with the win.
Of course, the scoreboard.
Of course.
That's why we're here in the first place.
Furia, who
87.
came in 83, ROC with 2 points off getting that second spot, but they still managed to sneak their way into the third spot to come away with some prize money this evening. But congratulations to Movie Star Koi. They are going to be going away as your winners of this game day. Furia coming in with the second place and ROC with third. What a day of Apex. I mean, if ROC had won that one, by the way, there would have only been 3 teams on match point. It was, look at those teams, 48, 48, 48, 44. People just were not able to break into that match point threshold. And it's something which I know the teams are going to have to go back to the drawing board, not just for next week, but potentially for tomorrow in the regional finals. For those teams who are going to be playing, we wish you the best of luck. But
yes,
as I've already teased it, we're going to be opening up this bad boy. We've already opened up the first part.
Crack it open.
We're now going in to this absolutely gorgeous controller case. And
it's so nice that it comes in a case. Like it just shows the extra level of care that a company takes to protect their product during transit and also for continued use. Because if you have a case for your products, put it back in a case. Treat it like your glasses, like I do for mine. I have at least a couple of cases nearby because if I don't protect the baby blues, what am I going to do? So anyways, without any further ado, let us see the game controller.
I mentioned that I love E-District. The pinks,
yes,
the blues, and so I had
all
to.
Of it.
It had to be done. And so not only is it
I'm sorry,
absolutely...
Ben, we gotta shave your head and give you an earring because you might as well be Mr. Clean rocking a controller like that. Look at the sheen. Look at the design. The aura. He's farming with it, folks. He's farming with the controller. Let me tell you what. It looks too clean. It looks too clean, and not only does it sort of look too clean, it plays too clean too. Unlike my last controller that had awful stick drift, this here with the Hall effect, with the Hall effect joysticks, it's going to be stopping all of that stick drift. I've even gone for, I don't know if you can hear it, I've got the little mouse click buttons as well. Perfect.
So I'm going to be absolutely
Insane
shooting
reaction.
nukes
Inhuman
with
reaction.
this. Plus, if you're somebody like me who likes to go a little bit overboard, I've even got a few little extra buttons on either side as well. And these ones, I have to say, I've had paddles before. They're okay, but I'm liking these. They're little clicky buttons. I can remap them if I need to as well. So,
Yep.
GameNetics,
W's
thank you
across the board.
so much for this. Just glorious. And I have to say, it's going to go back into
I know next time we're in here next week, I know Mark is going to be hyping up that OBS bot camera because it just looks so crisp and so clean. My man looks so great in just high quality 4K definition. I don't know how he looks even better. It's like we need to give him a 144p like laptop cam because he looks too darn good on the OBS bot cam. Let me tell you what. Either way, folks,
he does.
A huge congratulations to our winners here today. Movie Star Koi, that is Blinkers, Jelly, and Fun FPS. Congratulations, gents. Please be sure to hype them up in the chat as well as on the timeline. There's going to be a ton of clips from today because there were some insane moments on stream. Let me tell you what. I know I've said that already, but I can't stop saying it. I just want to say thank you to production as well. They've been on top of it. We know they have adapted and become just a top-tier elite unit behind the scenes, and I cannot thank them enough for their incredible support, both on stream, off stream, in the Discord, on the Discord, wherever they are. They have got our backs through and through, and they got the team's back. So huge shout out to our production, and a huge, even bigger thank you, I do have to say, because he's been with me the entire time, Ben B, folks. Just give it up for Ben B, please. Round of applause in chat for Ben B, please.
Everybody
do stand
this.
up and you start applauding this man.
Well, I can already see Selber say. I can already see Selber in chat. Selber, I appreciate you coming in. Another one of my EMEA cohort coming in. There's so many people. I mean, tonight we've had Zalia, who's going to be coming in from the UK as well to help with the hosting of tonight. We've had Kenny on the cams coming in from Europe as well. I believe in the Netherlands. We've got another brand new POV observer as well, and of course Foxy coming in from Europe. There is a great Europe contingent in here this evening, staying up late to put on a show. Woo. So I want to give a massive shout out to production, as we're going to have a quick chat before we do dip, just about the potential for who's going to be getting MVP tonight. If we're looking at the kill stats alone, Movie Star Koi, obviously they went crazy. They won the day outright. Fun FP, yes, with 19 kills to himself. Blinkser just behind with 17. But a bit of a surprising one, coming in third place, was MJ from Oath. 13 kills. Alongside
MJ who got that
also.
three-piece we saw towards the end of game 4 or 5. He was down in the gully, and Oath was ratting it out, but somehow, some way, got that 1v3 finish. I'm going to have to watch that back on the stream because it was an insane finish, and I am excited to get some clips for this VOD review because I know some of them are going in my highlight reel. I can't speak for the players, but this was one of the more fun casting gigs I've had in a long time, courtesy of our top tier production and of course Ben B in the booth with me the entire time. The Triple B, folks. He is the Better Business Bureau because he delivers like a good business. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say.
I've got it, mate. I'm loving it. I'm loving the energy. And obviously next week, although it's been great having the BNB, the Big Rich and the Ben B, we're going to be here with the BNB next week. Obviously, Mark of G will be back on the stream. Our incredible host who will be taking us away with his dulcet Scottish tones. Can't wait for him to be back. Obviously, as we mentioned, in that
man
beautiful,
to read me a lullaby to sleep.
That 4K OBS bot as well. Not just sounding good, he's looking good too.
Crisp. Oh, and our top damage players as well, who are just firing and popping shots. It's Keon on Furia, Deeds for ROC, and then 3 through 5. Guess what? It's MKOI. Through and through, slaying out at Blinkers, Jelly, Fun FPS. Y'all were slaying, y'all were hitting, y'all were doing a great job through and through. But a top tier performance from MKOI, deservedly so, because they put this one away early, and they did just a phenomenal job throughout this entire event, and came home with the W.
I mean, just from looking at these, is there anybody that you'd say you feel deserves the MVP slot?
I mean, if I had to choose someone that really just stood out through me through and through, that, you know, they were here pretty much from the get-go, or at least that I saw have some incredible plays, just some clutch moments. I would like to say Legatron on the side of Nightblood was moving like a demon on this one. I know they didn't necessarily get the finish they wanted, but they were doing really, really great. Forged Wolves just had some incredible players as well, and I gotta hype them up. Just, you know, Forged Wolves has been in the chat pretty much the entire stream as well, hyping up their boys. But yeah, I think Legatron had some pretty cool plays. But unfortunately, I don't believe they had enough kills or damage to secure that MVP placement.
I agree with you there. I mean, I was gonna say I think the easy answer, I think, for the MVP has to be chat. I mean, chat, thank you so much for tuning in tonight.
Cop-out pick. Pick a player. You have to pick a favorite. No, you can't do that, Ben. Chat, you're not the favorite. You guys were here and you did great, but you didn't do any damage. You didn't get any kills. You can't be MVP, chat. I'm sorry. I'll be the villain or the bearer of bad news if I had to. Chat, you're great, but you're not at MVP status just yet.
I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with. I'm saying it's a tough one. I'm gonna go, to be honest. You know what? Fun FPS went absolutely insane for MCoy tonight.
True.
He was
Fair pick.
rotating between the different legends gorgeously. He was my personal one, but ultimately, we are gonna go with a slightly different direction. Top damage today by a 900 damage away from RSC Deeds. Furia Keon went crazy. 8.8k damage across the course of the event. I mean, we saw that in that game which they brought themselves onto match point in our penultimate game. He was just going nuclear with the devotion, with the R9. Absolute demon time for Furia Keon. So our MVP for the event today is going to go to the hands of Keon. Congratulations. I believe the MVP does win a couple of nice little prizes. So from our little sponsors down there as well. So be on the lookout, Keon.
Yes.
But everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight. We've been
joking.
Thank you. I've joked about the MVP, should have gone to chat, but I do want to thank everybody who's come in here tonight. Obviously, the massive raid that came out, everybody that has just been here to support, whether that's your team, whether that's just teams that you want to see. Also, make sure that you are going and getting yourself a jersey of your favorite team, whether that's Leave No Witness, whether that's Empire, whether that's Unreal Nightmare, whether that's Rose. Boom. There are so many incredible teams out there with such beautiful jerseys. Look at Big Rich. I think we just close this out with Big Rich just giving us a twirl, and I think that's a perfect way to end the stream here tonight. I mean, look at that. Looking gorgeous on the DX Racer. Everybody, we will see you back here.
It's so smooth.
It's so smooth.
It's so comfortable. I could literally sleep in this chair. It's that good, chat. I'm going to spin around until we go to break. Guys, hurry. I'm going to get dizzy.
He's going to get
Good
dizzy.
Night, chat.
Everybody.
We'll see you next week.
Next week, same time.
Tune
we'll
in.
be there.
DX Racer. Shout out. I'm